So this is going to be your Sunday reading. And I have these 3 stones to choose from, but I also have this, the oracles of the 7 energies here, and we're going to pick one of these for each pile as well. We're not going to look at the card. We'll look at it once we get into your pile. Now these stones, I'm going to tell y'all the meaning of these stones once we get into your reading as well. I thought it would be interesting to go ahead and pick a pile, and then once you get into the reading, you can see what that stone's about if you don't already know that. Okay, so pile 1. What's a card here for pile 1, please? What does pile 1 need to know? What's their spirit message? Okay, so that's pile 1. And then pile 2. What does pile 2 need to know, spirit? What's their spirit message? And then pile 3, what does pile 3 need to know? Your spirit, what's their spirit message? All right, guys. Okay, so we have pile 1 here, and this is the labradorite stone. So that's going to be pile 1. And then pile 2 here, this is the bloodstone. These are my favorite. I love these stones. Okay. And then pile 3 is the Jade stone. Okay. So, what's your spirit message for today? Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Timestamps will be down below, and I'll see you at your pile. Okay, pile 1. So if you chose the labradorite stone, this is going to be a reading. Now this stone, guys, is actually the one that I keep next to my bed. It's really good for protecting your aura. It's also good for protecting you from negative energies in the world, which is hence why I like to leave it next to me in my sleep. This is one that it can also help you with the negativity within yourself. But this is a stone of transformation. It also enhances your strength of will and your inner worth. Okay, I have some notes next to me, so I didn't forget exactly what I wanted to say here. This one's really pretty. I love they're changing colors, you know, so you see like the blue and parts of it. That's why I like this one the most. Okay, and then here's your card. So let's see what we have. A higher view, number 41. So with the higher view here, you could be in a position to where I just heard flying high with some sort of new wisdom or some sort of new awareness that you've came into, where you're getting a higher view, a higher perspective. You're gaining knowledge at this time, more and more knowledge at this time. You're being able to use your knowledge and being more wise when it comes to your own thought vibrations. So this is someone here, and I'm speaking of you, but this is someone here that is more capable of weathering a storm. You have figured out how to kind of balance yourself in unpredictable moments or unpredictable experiences. You're becoming more adaptable to your own vibrations and being able to control or contain those vibrations within yourself when it comes to the unexpected. In 3D terms, it's like you're starting to figure out how to control your own anxiety. You're starting to figure out how to stabilize it and reset yourself when you feel like that's something that's coming on. I do feel like this is something that you're going to really blossom from. It's going to really help guide you, obviously, in making choices. But there's something in particular that you now have a higher vision of, a higher perspective of. And so now it's like, because of whatever this is, now it's like you're taking that information that you now have, and there's 2 different messages with this that are coming through. One of them is that you're taking that information now that you have, that wisdom now that you have, and you're using that to move forward and the direction for your highest good that you're wanting to move forward towards. The other thing is for some of you, there's a particular kind of information that you've been searching for, looking for, waiting on, and you're using now that higher vision because you have that information that you needed to see the bigger perspective, and you're using that to move forward towards something that you want. And I do feel like that this storm that you've had, internal storm that you've been going through for all of you, is somewhat behind you at this point, or at least you feel that it is, because you've reached this point of being able to maintain this balance, right? You're gaining control. Basically, it is that you're gaining control, which, I mean, it goes into this stone because this is about transformation, and that's what we're seeing here, is that you're transforming. You know, the number 41, we have 5 here, so that's that change that's taking place within inside of you, and you're finding your own willpower, your own inner strength, which is also representing this stone as well. So there's no mistake that this is the stone that you've chose. For some of you, if you're more on a spiritual path, spiritual journey, you're starting to connect. You're starting to more connect to source and finding that balance from there. Like you're starting to get more in sync with the signs that you see, with the things that you hear, you're starting to get more imbalanced, more in sync with it, instead of it being more of a chaos or static. It's like you're starting to get into the flow of that, where you're on that vibrational level, a higher vibrational level. For all of you, you're vibrating at a high frequency right now. So this is really a good time for you to be manifesting, for you to be really like becoming more knowledgeable about certain things, because you can get as much information as you can out of it at this time, at this place that you're in at this time. Okay. So what we're going to do here is something kind of fun. I'm excited. So I totally forgot about these, guys. So these are the ShadowLand Tarot, and I haven't had it for that long, but I used it like at every reading for a while. And I put them up because they can't fit in my cabinet, so I had to put them in a storage box instead, so nothing would, happen to them. And for some reason, they just came to mind when I was getting these stones out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. So I'm really excited to use them because I love these. I had to make myself stop using them in the pick of cards because, I like to use different kinds of tarot, but I don't want y'all to get tired of seeing the same ones. But so what we're going to do here with these, and these are the shadow box tarot, or the ShadowLand Tarot. So what that is these are basically based off of your shadow side, to pull out some of those things. So we're going to take a look at these first to see that, and then I'm going to use either the Ethereal Visions Tarot or the Tarot De Luz, probably the Tarot De Luz, and we'll get on top of these how Spirit is looking at that for you and how you can change or shift whatever that is. Any advice that comes from that, okay? So I don't know how this is really going to come out, but that's my somewhat plan there. So we'll see. Okay. Pile 1. What does pile 1 need to know? So you have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So hence that vision, right? That vision, that moving forward. You have the Hierophant here, Taurus energy for me, which is also the number 5, which you started out here with 5. So pay attention to those synchronicities. You may be seeing 555. Speaking of which, here's the Tower, which is the 555, Tower moment card. It is the number 16, which could be 5. These two wanted to jump out with it. You have the Lovers and the Magician here, both in reverse. So this could be a result. For some of you, this has something to do with you manifesting what it is that you actually love to do, or your soul purpose in some sort of way. For some of you, this has to do with a relationship that you didn't feel like you had what it takes for this relationship or all the tools you need to build a relationship. But for a lot of you, this might have to do with just yourself. It's like this missing piece that you now have to be able to kind of move forward and do what it is that you need to do for your highest good. And it has to do with self-love, that missing piece of loving yourself. This could be part of an awakening here with the Tower. Now the Tower's in reverse, so I want y'all to pay attention to that, because this is, I feel like you've had kind of a bit of a resistance to what this is. And actually, to be honest, guys, you have 555 right here. So how cool is that? These Scorpio energies here as well. You've been kind of resistant. The Four of Wands in reverse. You could either be reuniting with someone or wanting to reunite with someone, or this could have to do with your foundations, which is something I mentioned here, of you moving in a different direction. You don't have the exact plan. There's a feeling of not feeling as inspired to do this because of the Tower here. So this is something that you're resisting because you don't want to see this chaos or this upheaval transpire. This has a lot to do with y'all's foundation, and not only that, but it could be a home, could be that kind of environment, but it could go as far as to be your own limited self-beliefs, self-limiting beliefs. For some of you, this is about changing that, but it's like you something about this in a way, for some of you, it's like you don't know. For some of you, I feel like you just don't know if it's just weird to say, but for some of you, I don't know if you know if this is a good idea to change your perspective. It's like you're going through that phase here, guys, where you're coming across something in your life that has been somewhat of something that you have always known, okay? And this, for some of you, could be a home, but or an environment, even a town, a place, a city. I guess y'all call things cities. Everything's a town around here. But I say y'all, hey, y'all let me know where you're from. Sorry, my ADHD kind of kicks in. Y'all let me know where you're from. I'm really curious. Look at that star in reverse. So this could have to do with that belief, whatever that is. And it's like you maintained that for so long, that same thing, that trying to pull yourself away from whatever that idea of what it is was, it's hard to pull yourself away from that. So very hard to pull yourself away. And there's a lack of feeling inspired to do this because of the upheaval that this is going to cause. So for a lot of you, even though your mind's really venturing off into that new kind of unknown curiosity that you have with changing your mindset into something different than what you've known, even though that's something that's actually there, it's almost like you're hiding it from yourself in a way. But this is about you finding that inner strength and that willpower to transform, to open yourself up, to see a higher view from where you've been limited at. And for some of you, this has something to do with your home environment or your foundation of where you are and how that's been very limited to you. So what's keeping you from achieving this here, the star, which would be that dream that you have, that goal, that ambition, that whatever this is, what's keeping you from this is the fact that you are uninspiring yourself because of the upheaval that this would cause. And so you actually kind of sabotage it from here to here, to where you start to lose hope, or it's like you're almost waiting for the perfect time, the perfect idea, the perfect this, the perfect that, but you're actually procrastinating so much so that you're pushing that dream further and further away from yourself, to where it's so far in the distance that you start to actually lose hope that that's something that can happen. But it's all those things that you're telling yourself and why it can't. Do you see? And it has something to do with some of you based off of what your self-limiting belief is. There's something there that's preventing this from transpiring. This is the victim here. I mean, this is the culprit. This is the culprit. And you're victimizing yourself from that hopeful place here that you could have this goal or reach this dream. Because of all this upheaval here that would transpire from this. And I think that there's a lot of, you know, there's a way of you justifying this. And again, you should see that dream kind of just fading in the distance, because that weight that you're putting on your shoulders, and I mean, I'm not surprised if we see the 10 of Wands here, that weight that you keep putting on your shoulders is you keep telling yourself it's not the right time, or you're waiting for this person to feel this way, or that person to feel this way, or waiting for them to kind of wake up and see something, or giving them a little bit more time, or giving this space a little bit more time, or playing something out to see how long it's going to happen. And sorry guys, I just learned something from this reading and it just really threw me off. This one kind of hit home to me in a way. It's weird when that happens. Let me set that for a second. Something else that came through too with the well, they're not here anymore. There's the 6 of Wands. You need to recognize this within yourself, that this is actually what you're doing to yourself here. But that 2 of Cups that we saw there, I mean, it wasn't 2 of Cups, it was the Lovers. What was the other card? That Lovers that we saw there is, it could be it played a part in this in some kind of way. You could have had some sort of an awakening here with this in some kind of way. So let's get more in depth here with this. Because this Ace of Swords is basically showing me, Tarot's trying to say, this is the issue. They don't have any inspiration to move towards this. They're not feeling inspired enough because of this. And this is your culprit here, the Hierophant. And there's the reason it's, I mean, I have to say, first off, the reason it's upright is because it's what's blocking you. It's that authority, that belief, that idea, whatever that is that you feel like is something structured, your morals, your values, whatever this is that you've had, this idea about this thing, how it's kind of set there for so long, it's actually blocking you, okay? See all the roots that are planted in him? But the thing is the Hierophant, behind the Hierophant, there's a lesson. And this is what you're being taught right now, which brings me to the higher view. You're being taught to look at this in a higher perspective, outside and over the sabotage, the ideas, the reasons why, the excuses, the procrastination. So to get from here to here, you have to get through these so that you can turn this star upright. This is part of what you're healing from. For some of you, there may have been some sort of chaos or destruction that also is something that keeps you held back. Not wanting to cause chaos or destruction around you. Some of you may have came from environments in your life growing up where there was a lot of that upheaval, and you're trying to prevent that now moving forward. That's one of those very heavy burdens that's on your back. Not causing any kind of disharmony here. It's really big. It's a really big thing that's here. Not wanting to be that person that causes that disharmony or that disruption, that domino effect from this. This came out kind of similar in a reading that I just posted. Let's see about this Ace of Wands. Justice in reverse. Yeah. The imbalance here in this whole thing, the unfairness and injustice that you're doing to yourself, is that you're actually physically your own negative influence on yourself. You're being that person that's causing you to feel uninspired. So any kind of indicator of, oh, this is something that's like a brilliant idea, I need to do this, then that's, you sabotage it. Then that sabotage kind of comes in. It may not just be from you. There may be others that also make you feel this burden or this weight, and it may come very subtle or very innuendo, you know, like they know how to say something to you to get your mindset to think in a negative way without saying it's negative. They make you think about things that maybe some things that you've even thought about, like that, how things could go wrong or what could happen, but you haven't, like you've already healed from it, you've put it to the side, you've went through that, you've let that go, and then they'll bring up something to you that makes you either feel bad or feel not safe or secure or feel guilty. There's something there that they say, and it may go very under the radar to you, but it's just enough to get your conscious to be kind of thinking about that thing. Very strange. Why is the Hierophant here? So we have Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius energy, and Libra here. So Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius energy, and Libra. So Taurus is your, what you have, right? It's your possessions. It is your own, it's something that's grounded within you, okay? And then you have Scorpio, which is that transformation that we've been talking about. So that transforming, your determination, that thing that you possess, which is that thought, by the way, of this. And then you have that transformation that takes place. And then you have this Aquarius energy, which comes in. And that is going to shake things up. You know, that is that unconventional kind of thought process. More of a free kind of thought process that goes into things. And it's funny that it's well, it's not funny because it's tarot, but it's it is the star. So it's like that dream, that vision, that higher view of something that could be accomplished. There's there. And then you have Justice here, which is the balance, the fairness that takes place. And this is exactly what we were talking about in this reading. So how awesome is that? Why is this Hierophant here? The Six of Wands. Let me shuffle this up. But, I mean, that came out intentionally. You have a King of Wands here, but the Ten of Swords is here. See? See how these two are attached here? This is about you stepping into your role as leader. This is about you learning to step into your role as leader when it comes to yourself, and the Emperor's here. So you're just shy of this Emperor energy, right? You haven't controlled, or you haven't balanced out all the kings yet. But you're at this right now where you're trying to get through this focus of what's best, that vision that you have. You know, an entrepreneur where you're starting something here, possibly from the ground up. You know, this is a brand new thing, and it's outside of it's big and bold, and it's outside of what you normally would do. This is a heavy, heavy shift. We saw it in the beginning with 555 and that tower that came out. This is a heavy, heavy shift. So you're having to learn how to gain direction here and how to actually move yourself and be stable and be focused and do it. You have to conquer conquer the Six of Wands here with the Hierophant. You have to conquer this Hierophant, this authority, this thing that's blocking you. You have to conquer it. And in first to conquer it, you have to recognize it as that thing that is blocking you. Does that make sense? Why is the Tower here in reverse? You have the Two of Wands. So you go from an Ace of Wands to a Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands would be where this planning begins. And you have the Hierophant. So this is where it starts. This is where you start to kind of get into that mindset. You start here with when you start making that plan in which direction you're going to take. The first thing that you think about is the upheaval. The first thing that you think about. So when you start thinking about the physical change, that's when you start to have anxiety come over you. You start to think about all the things that are going to be a domino effect of that change. So you can't fully create a decision of which direction or a plan when it's backed up by the changes that are going to happen around it in an anxiety or fearful way. This is what you need to gain control over, and this is what you could have a higher wisdom of. You need to look at those things and don't just be focused on the negative of what those are, but you also need to be looking at the pros of what could happen there. How that could be beneficial for you. How that could be beneficial for others. You know, and I said this in a reading the other, just one I posted that came through, and it's so true that, you know, we enable or keep ourselves stuck in certain places in our life for not having that change or effect around others. But how do we know that by us changing something, it could change other people for the better? But we don't think about that because we think about protecting the ones that we love, the ones that we care about, the people around us, the things that we love, possessions, Taurus energy. We think about all those things, the Hierophant, and that's what keeps us stuck or blocked. We want to protect those things. We want to keep those things secure and safe. So that's where the anxiety starts to build from. But you don't think about the good things that could actually happen or come out of that. You know, once you break through that barrier of change, then familiarity starts at day one. And the more you kind of get comfortable with it, and the more you get comfortable with it, and the more you get comfortable with it, think of the things in the higher vision of what that would actually look like, what that could look like, not only for you, but others around you. What direction would that push them into? You're a leader, okay? You're learning to be this leader. So Spirit's trying to show you how to lead others. And sometimes that comes in a way, for some of you, of pushing them in an uncomfortable position or uncomfortable area. You need to break yourself free over that belief that you have of protection is no change. To keep someone safe, it is where you give them no change. I thought about this too the other day. You know, if I was to allow my kids not to do any, I don't want y'all to get hurt now, so don't do anything. Don't go ride your bike. I mean, I say this to my son, my 6-year-old all the time. Don't do that, you're gonna get hurt. Don't do this, don't do that. But then he would be limited so much so he wouldn't be able to do anything. Sometimes he has to do things that are uncomfortable to learn how to push through that barrier and learn for himself what to do and what not to do. It's just like when you're learning how to walk, you know, and they fall all the time when they're kids, they're learning how to walk. It's uncomfortable, but here with you guys, you are some sort of, you're like a leader in this. You're in a position in your life at this time where you're needing to take the lead here to do that with others. And you don't want to see them hurt. You don't want to see them uncomfortable. You don't want to see that. You know what I mean? But they're never gonna, they might, you never know, they might be, it might make them burst through and just blossom on their own, or wherever they're going to be at, or whatever's kind of however this is going to affect them. They could blossom in that place. And then they would, you know how you have people in your life where you think about things and you later in life you go back, or at least I have several times, and I forgive people because I'm like, you know, that was just real crappy. I hated being through that. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad that you did that to me. I'm glad that you pushed me. I'm glad that you did this or did that, because you made me get out of the state that I was in. You made me get from this place. You made me excel. You made me step outside of my comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? And you're meant to kind of push people in this direction, or lead people in this direction. You know, the King of Wands, that entrepreneur, you know, doesn't get there, doesn't get to success by protecting everyone and keeping everyone in a place to where you're not guiding them or directing them where they need to go. Tell me about that 4 of Wands, please, in reverse. The 10 of Pentacles. No surprise there. So this could be a foundation, a home, a family, with the 10 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands, an upheaval of a family, upheaval of, this is also about you and your own comfortability. Comfortable where you are. You're comfortable where you are. That's the other thing. That's the other thing that's here. And again, just like you don't want to cause the chaos, which you're stepping in that leadership role by doing that. You're not seeing it like that in yourself. Some of you might. But because you don't want to cause the chaos here or any kind of destruction, you tell yourself that you're comfortable where you are because you have everything it is that you need, but you're really not satisfied in that place. Even though there's a lack of harmony and peace there, it's still comfortable because you have everything that you need right here. So let's just stay right here for a little while where you have everything that you need, because it's comfortable. This has been coming through in my readings a lot too. Stepping outside of your comfort zone and how rewarding that can be for you. How much better of a balance you can come into. Tell me about the star here in reverse. How could you excel and benefit other people's lives if you did that and got to that place? You have the World here with the star in reverse. So you shut this down. When you start to lose hope, or you start to lose that idea, you start to lose that spark, the star starts to dim. You know, think of that star being that goal or whatever this is for you guys. And once you start to lose that hope because all this pressure that you've built on yourself or others, then you feel comfortable where you are and you think, well, I'll just put this star on the back burner for a little bit. That star doesn't stay bright forever. You know, while you're over here kind of going in this circle, the star's over here dimming. And then it's over and done with here with the World. And that's the real lesson. That hopefully you'll be able to fix this before that lesson comes sinking in, you know. Because the longer you kind of put this off in some kind of way, that lesson's going to be a lot harder in the longer run. Because that star will eventually just disappear altogether. But this is also representing for some of you, this could be with the World, that's travel. So this could be move for some of you with all these foundation cards. For some of you, this could just be you doing, I mean, the World, it could be, and this is a whole new cycle, a whole new start for yourself here after this. You go from this, the last major arcana here, and you have your 1 here. So it's like you work yourself back around You close out that cycle with the lack of hope or closed door, that light dimming, and then you circle back around. Guys, we're looking at your healing, or your if you're, you know, spiritual journey here. You're looking at this inner work that you're doing in a cycle that you're currently sitting on, and how to get the hell out of it. You know how to get out of this cycle, so you can close this portion out of your life and move in another level, another direction for yourself in your life, where it can benefit others. And I think that this is not the way that you're actually looking at this time, because there's something harder that you have to get through in order to make that happen. And that Nine of Pentacles in reverse at the bottom of the deck, which is, again, the same energy that's here. It's about you having what you feel like, everything it is that you need and want or could want. I need to raise these cards up. Sorry, here I go again. Totally cut it off. You're taking all that you want or could want, and you're telling yourself that, well, I'm comfortable where I am. But the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is not someone that's comfortable where they are. They have everything they need, but they're not comfortable where they are. They still feel a lack. There's a lack of harmony there. You know, you ever sit down and think about, you know, you tell yourself what if, and then you sit down and think about, but what if it did work out? Because that's when you really get places. You know, when you tell yourself or you talk to yourself like that. What if it did work out, though? How great would that be? You know, some of the best manifestation videos that I've ever done is where I do this one in particular all the time. It's a 10-minute one. And I might put that on my community page so y'all can see it. It's a really good one. If you needed a guided one, I've been doing it for years. And it really makes me, I can feel, you have to feel what that would feel like. You have to envision what this goal is, this dream. And then you have to actually embrace it fully, where you're feeling what that would actually feel like to you. The happiness, the joy, the sun energy that would come through because of that feeling of what you've accomplished here, or whatever this is. If it works out, if it worked perfectly. I mean, it's so intense. It should feel so intense to you. I mean, I've cried in meditations, like the happy cries, which is no surprise because I cry a lot. And I'm very emotional, Cancer energy. But it was good tears. You know, it's like you have to be able to really have that vision. This could really, really help you, I feel like, push through this upheaval here. Because this is where it first starts to go kind of south for you. Tell me about, tell me what they need to know here at Vice with this Ace of Wands in reverse and Justice. The Moon. This is about that fear, okay? Really, really allowing it to completely consume you. That's where you go bad. This is what you need to be focusing on. And it's pretty much what I've just got done saying about that meditation, is how you kind of get through that. You're so focused on looking at all the ways that this could go wrong. And you're not focused at all. Those seem so big and so, because they're harder. This is the lesson. This is the goal. This is what you have to get past. The pain, the hurt, you can't, anybody that is reaching something great, I guarantee you they had to sacrifice something. There's something that they've had to go through, that they had to have some pain happen to them. You don't see anybody, you're like, oh, it's so easy breezy getting here. It took no time at all. It's just so magical the whole way here. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Tell me about the Hierophant with the Six of Wands. We have the King of Swords in reverse. So you need to be more honest with yourself and more focused. You see how he's looking right at this moon? So you have this inspiration that kind of builds up inside of you, but then you have the moon that's like lingering, that big shadow on over it. And you need to figure out how to be more authoritative over this idea that you have, this mindset that you have. You also have Judgment and the Four of Pentacles and the Magician that all came out together. So this is having to do with feeling like you don't have everything it is that you need in order to have this freedom. So you're blaming, there's an energy here of you, if you don't blame others here in a way for something not coming together or working out, then you start to go, it goes inward. You start to blame yourself for not having what it is that you need. And you're not having that boundary with yourself, you know, that healthy, if y'all don't listen to, this just came up too. If y'all don't listen to Happy Twins 1111, go listen to her. She just posted, I love her so much. She's so informative. She's very good. And Charlotte. And she said on a reading the other day, I was listening to her, and she said about healthy boundaries with yourself. And we don't think about that as much. It's just like had a whole like spark of epiphany in my head. So think about you going towards a goal and having your best friend sitting next to you the whole way going, there's no way you can do this. It's not going to happen. You're crazy. You might as well give up now. You know? What you're doing's wrong. That's not the way you should be doing it. Think of all the people that you're going to upset when you do this. You know how, oh my gosh, can you imagine what's going to happen to so-and-so? All these things that you tell yourself, and then you start to blame yourself. And it's about having that healthy boundary right there to not do that to yourself. If you had a best friend sitting there doing that to you, would you not look at him and go, man, listen, you're killing my vibe. You're going to have to go somewhere else. I'm never going to get to where I'm going. When I get there, I'm going to feel guilty. You see what I'm saying about that? You have to be able to take control of that feeling. Release yourself from that so that you can be that master manifestor here. Master builder. Okay, so let's see about this Tower in reverse and the Two of Wands. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get all of these out, and then we're going to get some advice cards, okay? Tell me about that Tower in reverse with the Two of Wands, please. The Six of Wands. Six of Wands, Six of Wands, that's a repetitive message. So in order to have success and triumph over this, you have to be able to recognize what you're doing to yourself. And look at this card. The star is here in the middle of his head, you know, his third eye that's here. Seeing things in a different point of view, perspective, that higher view that we're talking about. And then you have all the planets that are up here. And actually, that's Mercury and Saturn with the sun in the background. You're going backwards here in a way, right? This is when you start to go backwards. This is when the plan goes wrong. And then you can't see the sun, you know, they're overshadowing the sun there. There's even a star in there too. You have to be able to get past this and recognize that you're doing this to yourself so you can see that higher perspective. You need to change the way you're seeing the higher perspective like we talked about. Okay. You have to be able to grow your mindset. You have to be able to evolve and to grow your mindset here. This is the goal. This is what's going to make you that leader that you're wanting to be or you're wanting to represent for yourself. Tell me about that Four of Wands in reverse with that Ten of Pentacles, please. Six of Cups in reverse. This is exactly the same thing that I just said. This is about growing up. This is actually the card. The Six of Cups in reverse is about growing up, letting go of that old version and creating something new for yourself. You have to, well, you don't have to. Let me take that back. if you don't want this, if you don't want to move in that direction, and before you know it, like I said, that star will start dimming and dimming more and more. In order for you to actually get to that peaceful place for you, and even if there's others around you in the ways that we were talking about, in order for this to transpire or happen, you have to get out of this comfort zone. You have to let go of that old version of yourself and grow and release yourself of the past. I think it has something to do with some of you about feeling safe. Maybe you came from a place, this won't resonate for everybody, guys. Maybe you came from a childhood where you had a hard time feeling fully safe. Safe to be able to, I'm not talking about, for some of you it may be physically, but it could have been in a very abusive home to that nature or something like that. But for some of you, this has to do with emotionally. You did not feel safe expressing yourself fully and emotionally to be who you truly were. And this doesn't have to be just around your family. This could just be around your friends. This could be around like people that were in your neighborhood or something, just whatever. It's like you had to put on some sort of persona as being someone else in order to be liked, in order to be them to be okay with you. And because of that feeling, you gain like this comfortability. That's how you felt liked. That's how you felt in that way, right? So that was where you were comfortable at, is being someone else, not being what it is that you want, the direction you want to take, and who it is outside of that. And that is changing. And that old version of you that kept you not being true to who you are or what you want, or that direction, that comfortable version, you don't want to have to deal with nothing, right? That comfortable place, keep your mouth shut and don't say anything, and everything will be okay. That place, you need to let that go. Because even though you're comfortable, you're not happy. You know? There's always pressure there. You're keeping things calm and safe, but you're not happy. There's not harmony. You're not feeling joy at all. You're not feeling the sun. You're not getting what it is that you need for yourself. And we need the sun, guys. So tell me about the star in reverse with the world. Okay. Oh my goodness, really? Well, that's crazy. 6 and 5s are big numbers here for y'all. We have the Ace of Pentacles. There's that opportunity that's coming. There's an opportunity coming to be able to do this. But you have to be in the right mindset. There's Empress in reverse here in the world. Again. You have to be in the right mindset. This is, the Empress in reverse is about, being codependent is the big thing that I see. But relying on others, relying on everything else outside of you. She doesn't do that. She's the Empress. She creates what it is that she needs and wants for herself, because she can do that. She's abundant and she has that ability to create something in a miraculous way, because she has everything in balance. That opportunity for this is here. But if you don't get past this, and you're more reliant or dependent on others to kind of either tell you what you need to be doing, or look at you in a way of you needing to keep things steady and calm and protecting everybody from any kind of upheaval or whatever this is, then you're going to lose this opportunity to actually really ground something that can go somewhere with you, for you, and for others. You have this third eye there, that higher view. And then this here, to clarify the world, they gave me this. The Five of Wands in reverse. I just heard quit caring what other people think in my head. People are going to disagree with what it is that you're doing, because you're making them step outside of their comfort zone, perhaps for some of you. You know, you're making them step outside of their comfort zone as well. So people are going to disagree with what you're doing. Don't let that weigh on you so much. Just because they feel like they're saying things to you here with this Ace of Swords in reverse, just because they're saying things to you that are worries or their fears, doesn't make them true, doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. All these things that you're telling yourself, and none of those things are actually true. Those are all just illusions of what you have an idea of. But it's not the actual truth here. You know, the Knight of Swords in reverse. Not taking any action to kind of resolve something here. To fix this. To make that, let that change take place. And then you have the Five of Cups in reverse. You can only, this is what they're saying here is, if you end this in a way of this, and that dream just disappears, then you don't have anybody else to blame here but yourself. Because you are in control here of yourself. Regardless of what everybody else is saying here, you are in control of yourself. You know, obviously, unless you're like a kid, and then go ask your parents. But these fives aren't upright, so the change isn't happening, and you're not being honest with yourself about what that is that you really truly want either. And things that you need to heal to get past in order to gain what it is that you want for yourself. Which is everything we just talked about. Okay, so I'm going to get a spirit message card. I hope this helps, guys. I'm going to get a spirit message card, and then we're going to get one more oracle, and then we'll get a soul truth, okay? I have a message here for pile 1. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. Being distracted. Okay, this is one that you really need to listen to. Okay. Another message came through over here, guys, about animals. If you have animals, or you need to be around animals, especially if you have a pet, that could be really useful for you, because it's something that can help keep you grounded. So, something to do with animals, okay? Ground yourself. Being distracted, unfocused, tired, irritated, and impatient are all signs that you are ungrounded. Now is the time to become centered and allow Spirit to help you ground yourself and reconnect with the divine source. This is something that we talked about here with this card here in the beginning. And you connecting on that vibrational level where you connect to source in order to ground yourself here, to get yourself out of this chaotic kind of mindset where there's this sabotage that takes place. So what else for pile 1? Well, 2 wanted to come out. We'll take them. First one. Be a light to others. This is what we're talking about. And there's no mistake that this is number 4. That's the Emperor in Tarot. And that's about taking control and being in that divine masculine space within yourself. Being in that leadership role. You have the power. You have the powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. This is all about learning this lesson at this moment in time, about you stepping into your leader role. It's leading you towards what your higher purpose is here. And you could be a light worker. You could be a light to others. But this is also a message of first you have to be a light to the people around you before Spirit kind of helps guide you into this other person to where you can be a light for more than that. This is a lesson in that to get you to that higher place. You see? This lesson that you're going through right now about learning to lead. And sometimes that looks in a way, being the light to others looks in the way of making others feel uncomfortable for a little bit. Okay. And you have the number 3. Archangel Michael is with you now. Even though you can't see it, I am actively working on this situation. I am here and I am helping. See, you're not alone. This is the message that they're wanting to say. You are not alone in this. You're being guided, you're being directed, but you're the one that has to take the action. You're the one that has to lead yourself. You're the one that has to step up. They're trying to get you to see this right here because they want this change to happen so much for you because they can see what's going to happen outside of this. They can see the goal that you reached, that star. It's no problem for them to see the star. You know. Okay. Let's get a soul truth card here. And then we'll get some initials to close. I miss these readings. I don't know why I haven't done one in so long. Well, that just flew right out. If I had a magical wand, how could I have anything I desire in life? What would I choose? If you were 100% supported, what would you choose? If you were 100% supported, what would you choose? You know? Good grief. Okay. Burn with desire. There is power in your desires. Yeah, you're shying away from that here, that Ace of Wands in reverse. Your desires are your soul's wings, and it's time to take flight. Today's soul action is, today go inward. Your answers lie within. What do you desire? Choose what makes you happy and do that. So you do that is all caps. They're pushing you here and pushing you. And actually, guys, I'm looking at the timer. It's 5:55 on the clock right now. How crazy. Okay. Let's get some key cards. Too many. Still too many, but that's okay. We'll take them real quick. Witness, don't identify. Yeah. Don't try to be that comfort for other people in a way of protecting them from the certain choices. There's a reason all of us are guided to do certain things in life. And success is here. But be honest with yourself about what it is that you want and what you're doing. Drop the arrogancy here. I'm going to put that on his face. And the mystery of the unknown. Yeah. Drop the arrogancy and the mystery of the unknown. You know, your ego may get in the way a little bit of this within yourself. I think that's fear of not other people seeing you achieve certain things with success. Be honest with yourself about that. About feeling the need to do something and that you feel like this is the right direction to go. But also being honest with yourself about you could be wrong here. But you still need to make that decision to move, to do that thing, you know, to take that action. Because if you sit here, you'll never know. So it's okay. That's a way to let go of that freedom of that pressure that you're putting on yourself. I'm just doing what I feel like's the best thing, and if it works out, it does. If it doesn't, we'll see. We'll get, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But we don't know what's going to happen there. We just have to look at the higher view of everything, the goal that's in mind, not the journey itself. That's the part that's the mystery. Reassurance. Yeah, you keep trying to reassure yourself of certain things, and you're not allowing any room for spirit to work. You're not allowing any room here to allow things that you are unaware of that could fit into place when it comes from this. The mystery of those things could be actually beneficial, exciting, cause harmony, cause peace. You're not allowing yourself to look into those things. Absolutely nothing. Be honest with yourself here about what you're doing to overcome this. You know? Look at that. 5 of Cups. Yeah, that's that. You don't want to regret not doing something. Oh, look at that. That's the Knight of Swords there. They're telling you to take action. Take fast action. Get out of that energy that's there. And look at this. Guys, look at the sink. You see my Archangel Michael here with the wings and the blue and the red, and that's the same image that you see here on the sticker. Same colors. How awesome. And he has a sword in the same hand. That's funny. Okay, let's get some initials. That's so cool. Oh, guys. So I'm going to go through some signs here. We have Leo. You may have Leo in your chart, or well, you may have Leo in your big 3, your sun, moon, and rising, but you may also have Leo in your chart in a prominent place that talks about where one of your houses. Go look at your houses and where you have Leo at. But Leo's I will, right? It's where you're finding that courage to do that thing. It's that King of Wands energy. There goes my voice. So it's also about courage and strength. So that's coming out, being that lion. And then you also have Scorpio energy. No surprise there, because this is about transformation. So being brave enough to transform. And then you have the Pegasus, which reminds me of Aquarius energy. And that's that unconventional thing. I know, you know what you need to be doing here. You know what it is. Scorpio energy is I desire. So you know what it is that you desire. And this card actually says that. Burning with desire. There's a power in your desires. Not shying away from that. And having the courage to really look at it. The willpower to look at that. And go towards what it is that you desire. So that's kind of awesome. That those came out. And then you have the closure pin. So for y'all, though, I see it as unzipping things, letting yourself out of that comfort zone, letting yourself out of it, Okay, so we'll go through some letters, but we have 2 numbers here. We have an 8 and a 6. So 6 was something that showed up a lot, which is healing, harmony, peace, which is all this part of what you see here. The number 8 is taking action, mastering that skill, mastering that thing of yourself, that sabotage that you have here in this, that steady or that stuckness, that procrastination, mastering this so that you can strive forward towards your goals, towards what it is that you want. That could benefit you for a long time too, because that's also that infinity symbol, You have an eye here, which is no surprise, because this is like the third eye, right? I'm only just now ever seeing this like that. It's funny. Because we saw that so much in your reading. Yeah, which is that knowing that's there. Seeing the higher view, seeing beyond, right? So we have L-A-M-E U-E-N and A. This could be a W as well, I guess. We have law. Well, don't be doing anything that's against the law. I mean, you could just backtrack everything I said. Don't do anything against the law. Let me see. But this is also representing that authority, right? That we talked about. what you feel like is just set in stone in place. Nothing's ever set in stone. What else? I'm not seeing anything. Not one thing. Lean. Maybe you just need to... Oh, you're always wanting to be that person that everybody leans on. That's that comfort that's coming out. It's part of what's the biggest thing I feel like that's holding you back, is wanting to be that person for everyone, not wanting to cause any kind of upheaval. I'm gonna pull one card for that before I let y'all go. Lane is here too, about staying in your lane, not veering off into the waste that it's gonna happen, what's gonna happen to somebody else, or what's gonna happen to this, or what's gonna happen, but stay in your lane. That's staying in focus of what that is that you want. Contentment, and you also have true love that came out as well. You know, when that Lovers came out and I said, this is doing what you need to do, something that you love to do for yourself. It says your wholeness and safety lie within. Yeah, that's a big part of this. Not from a partner, but the solidarity, whatever, actually leads to the deepest intimacy for you to stop using others. It's like you're using the way that it's going to affect other people so that you don't actually have to step outside of your comfort zone. It's that part of that self-sabotage. But really, you're kind of using them to keep you stuck in a way. Let me stand on my own feet, dear Lord, and know true love, which is within self. So you have contentment. You can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly you remember, I'm resting right here in God. So knowing that, looking at a higher perspective of knowing that everything's going to work out, and courage is at the bottom of that. I got to read this, guys, and then I'll close, okay? Divine courage is not, I love this card. Divine courage is not the absence of fear, but a nudge that says, keep going, do it. Don't worry, all will be well. You have to get quiet enough to hear it. Dear Divine, may I feel your courage and your will. Which is a great place to leave you guys, because that's really what we started on with that labradorite stone. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. I definitely hope this helps y'all moving forward. Good luck to you guys. And sending you some love, guys. I'm sending you some light, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, Pile 2. So if you chose, oops, I left the labradorite there. If you chose the bloodstone, so I love this stone, and I actually used to have one of these. I'm gonna hold this up because they're all kind of different. I used to have one of these that was the prettiest looking bloodstone. I gave it to a friend, and I guess they changed the way that they see things, and they ended up tossing it out. And my heart was so shattered. And I was thinking, you know, later, I'm like, oh, hey, I didn't have the heart to tell them that that's like a horrible omen, right? To throw precious stones away. But it's this one in particularly, because, you know, this is actually called the, it's actually called the Christ stone, because the bloodstone comes from the crown of, crown of thorns. And that's hence the bloodstone. They actually found these. These are real popular in India. But they're mostly in India. But they found some of these like forever ago, like 2000 BC, as jewelry. And this stone is about courage and justice. And hence the Christ stone, right? So there's a couple things I wanted to go over with it. So not only is it courage and justice, but it's supposed to help motivate you It increases your creativity and energizes your immune system. It can, you know, ease misunderstandings. It can also strengthen any kind of family bonds or deep connections that you have, hence why I gifted it. And I guess that didn't work out, but it's so pretty. I love this stone. So this may tie into your reading with pile 1. It did. It did significantly tie into their reading, their stone did. So let's see. I haven't looked at this yet. So you have Wish Upon a Star. I love this card. Number 39. So I feel like for a lot of you, you have this wish that you're currently in the position of where you're really hoping for. Guys, I'm going to have to tell y'all this because this is kind of crazy. Before I started your reading, sometimes things happen. I have memories or flashbacks or something, you know, because, you know, some of what I bring to my messages are obviously my own life experiences and how I've processed through things in my healing journey. And before I started your reading, I was looking at this stone and I had this thought in my head about where I used to not be able to remember what my very first memory was, and then it finally came into play. And I knew it had something to do with, I just remember the feeling before I remember the actual vision of it. So the feeling of it was fear. And the vision I finally remembered was of me, and I think I was about 3 years old or smaller. And I was hiding under the kitchen table as my parents were fighting. And I just remember like being in that body and seeing it. And there's like a tablecloth that I was kind of hiding underneath. And look at this. There's a little girl on here. And whenever I had that image in my head before I started your reading, I said to myself, oh man, what is this reading going to be about? I feel like this is going to be kind of an emotional reading, so be prepared for that. So you may have had a dream on your heart, something that's really laid in your heart for ever since that you were a kid, something that you really desired, you really wanted. You've always maintained this spark of this inner child dream that you've carried within inside of you. You've protected it, you've kept it safe. And this for you as an adult is this feeling of you still have this dreamlike energy, this idea, this desire of something that you truly want. It's always been something that stayed inside of you. For a lot of you, you just have a very dreamy personality. Like you have a great ability to create because you can look through things through a child's eyes. You've never kind of let go of that creativity, that curiosity that kids have, you know? And it's funny because your stone is about, it can also increase that creativity and motivation. So right now you're in a position to where there is something that you are working on that is coming from that feeling of that creativity that's inside of you, and allowing that to really blossom and grow, I think is what your reading is going to entail, because we're talking about, you know, this courage to allow it to show it, you know, to show it to others is something that's here. And also it being justified. So this shadow aspect of this reading may have something to do with fear of judgment, or right now that whatever it is that you have, that creativity, that thing that you're doing, you feel like it's great. You feel like it's a good thing, and you want to keep that safe. You know, you're comfortable in that place. But if you put that outside of yourself and you really put that out there, then you're capable of criticism. You're putting yourself in a place where you can actually have others criticize you, and that fear of that judgment of others is something that's kind of creeping in on you, to where you're having a hard time really being true to this nature that you have inside of you, this creativity that's there, that not many people have, that not many people carry. And For some of you, this could actually be a result of, and this is what I think is really awesome. So stay with me about this because they're going to go kind of further back. If you were a child who was in an environment to where you weren't actually ever able to be a child, you always felt like you had to grow too fast, or you had to be more adaptable to the people around you. If you're very empathic, right, you had to be more adaptable to the people around you, because you knew if you were in an environment that was unsteady or shaky or abusive or anything to this nature, and hence my vision, then you kind of were closed off and read other people's energies. You had to adapt to their energies, so you knew what to say, what not to say, how to, it's like walking on eggshells. You have to know everybody's environment around you. And as a kid, we really are in tune with our own intuition and empathy, right? Being empathic to others and their feelings was just so fresh at that age in that. So you created this inside of you. And now as an adult, as you age, as you get older, you're reverting back to that childlike feeling that you missed out on. And that's what's really building this creativity from inside of you. That's where it's really coming from. It's like now that you've had this experience, you're able to go back almost in time and be that child that you never got to really be fully. And as an adult, it's coming out in this creative, inspiring kind of energy. And they're wanting you to use that and utilize that, because this is something that's going to bring a lot of justice to you. But you have to have the courage to release it outside of yourself and allow the world to see it as well. And I feel like for some of you, this has to do with you putting your own artwork out there. For some of you, but I feel like I'm talking to a lot of people that are just very creative and very inspirational type of people. Like you connect to others through your work of some extent, through your art, on a deep level. But you have to, they want you to build on this. This is a way of finding purpose of the things that happened and why they happened in the way that they did, and how you can go back almost in time and apply some kind of purpose or reasoning by why that had to happen, why you had to grow up so much, why you had to be in this space, so that now as an adult you can utilize that creativity at this adult phase, which is a whole different mindset. But you have to have courage enough to put it out there. You may also be in a place to where you feel like a lot of things are coming to fruition for you. You feel like there's a perfect kind of setup or opportunity for this that may be coming into play. If it hasn't, it will. But you have to have the courage to take that step. You have to have the courage to do it. And they want you to do this because I'm speaking to light workers today, I guess. This is like a light worker thing. So whatever it is that you're creative wise is something that is meant to inspire or help others in some kind of way. Even if it's something that you don't even have to use your words or speak on. But for some of you it is. But for others of you, maybe it is just, your art or whatever. It's just something that you're doing here that can inspire others outside of yourself. In an emotional way, in that connection that you could have, to bring out some emotions in others that are necessary. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get some of these guys. These are the ShadowLand Tarot. And you have the Hanged Man here in the world. Look at that. Shifting your perspective of what the world might think about what it is that you're doing here. Shifting your perspective of what the world might think. Yeah. In the Five of Pentacles, you may feel like you're kind of different. There's something to do with you feeling like whatever this is may be so different, and nobody's going to see it the way you do. Nobody's going to accept it. You're clinging on to this, the Death in reverse. You're clinging on to this old point of view. You could be the one that changes things up. You could be that one that comes in and kind of makes a difference and shifts other people's perspective. You know, you could be that person that brings in that new trend. You know, you could be that person that brings in that new way of looking at things that no one else has even thought of yet. You know, they're stuck in their old ways, but there's something that's totally outside of the norm or totally different that you can bring that many others cannot. I think for some of you too, you may have this like feeling of where you try to go back to what others are doing or comparing yourself to others in some kind of way. Like, I wonder what they're doing, or I wonder what they're thinking, or, you know, I wonder how they're doing it. And there's something to do with yours that's unique, that they want you to go back to this childlike energy that you have within yourself. Remember, you're not like others in this because of those experiences that you've went through. You see things in a different kind of way. And whatever it is that you're seeing creative-wise is unique and can provide comfort, support. There's something to do with this emotional thing that you can provide for others that will connect with you. You know, the right people will come. It's like, just like me doing these readings, these are so long, you know, they're so long. But I let my readings go. I try to not cut them off, and I have tried in the past. It never works. And finally, I just of course, I had also some advice from a good friend as well. It kind of helped me along my way, part of my soul tribe here. But it's just that that's something that's just different. That's just, I literally can't cut it off, guys. I have to get all of everything I can out until Spirit says I'm done. And that's just the way I do it. But it's taken me some time to get comfortable with that or used to that, because that's not what, I mean, a lot of people just don't want to sit here and listen to an hour-long reading. So you have the Knight of Cups here. So this is something here. Look at, she has this is so awesome. The synchronicities today are awesome. She has the star in her hand, and she has the star in her hand, but in the Knight of Cups in this one, the star's outside. She's holding it up to the light. You see? That's success, the sun. She's holding it up to the sun, saying, look at this. Look at this. And this is what you're holding inside of you here. These are going to show us the more shadow aspect of this, so we can work yourself, we can help get you through this cycle here. And then I'm going to pull some Tarot De Luz cards to put on top of these to see what advice Spirit has for you with that. So we have Death in reverse again. I think we saw that in the shuffle there. That's Scorpio energy, which is that transformational energy coming through. That Knight of Cups is about you moving forward towards what this is. It's something that you really love, something that you have a lot of emotions with that you could share. Tell me more. I'm going to go ahead and get all the top out here. We have the Page of Swords. That's the scariest looking Page of Swords I've ever seen. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Interesting. The Ace of Swords here in reverse. This would be that breakthrough, by the way, that you need to overcome here. Some of you may be afraid that you don't know how you would handle it emotionally if someone was to turn you away, turn you down, or not like what it is that you're putting out. That's something that's here. You don't know if you'll handle that very well emotionally. Again, you're trying to protect that, right? You're trying to protect that feeling that you have of it. Oh my gosh, guys, this ties into my story with my stone. It does. You know, this is precious stone here, you know. I mean, it has power. I believe it has power. That's why. Because I believe it does. And these are ancient, you know. And it's precious to me, just like this wish. And then I gave it to someone that just kind of threw it away. And this is what you're afraid of. This is something that you're afraid of. You're afraid of giving this away to the world and them trashing it. And how that's going to affect you emotionally. And one of the reasons is because this is basically like your inner child. You're putting this inner child version of you out there and letting it be ridiculed, letting it be criticized. And you want to protect that child. You want to keep that child safe, that part of you safe. Because you know all what you went through and how you put all of those emotions of that you couldn't understand as a child into this now as a creative vision that helps other people connect with that inner child that you have and understand that, possibly because they've been through those similar experiences. It's so crazy to me how you can look at a picture that, you know, you can look at a piece of artwork and it can pull certain emotions out of you that brings back a memory or a piece of you that you remember was traumatic, or those emotions that you experienced at that time that maybe you just tried to push down or forget about. And it comes out at least for you to feel them once again and to release them where you've needed to, just by looking at a piece of artwork. Now, the artist behind that work could have possibly experienced something in that kind of nature to be able to pull that out of them and place that on, you know, the canvas so that you could see that in the way that you did. There's a connection that's there between you and the artist, you know, between you and that art. Just like with music, it's the same similar way. You know, songs that even if there's no words, they bring that, and there's music like that, you know, that brings that out in you. It's so crazy, and that's what I'm seeing here with you. But allowing it to be outside of yourself and releasing it to the world is the thing that's stopping you here. And being honest with yourself here is in the middle of your spread. This is the actual emotion. This is the actual message. This is the actual doing of what it is that you need to do. And you know, once you pass this dream over, once you put this dream out, it's you're putting it out in there for whatever happens. And there's a lot of emotion in that. A lot of emotion in that. Because this is your baby. Look at this card. Oh, guys, the synchronicities in this readings are driving me insane. It's just crazy. My son just came in, my 6-year-old, and he wanted to give me a hug. I have to tell y'all this story. He's been begging me to buy him something on one of his games, and I keep telling him no. And I'm trying to stand my ground there and put a halt to that. He came in this morning and he asked me, please. And I said, well, you're going to have to do some chores for me if that's what you're wanting to do. Because I'm raising all alpha generation kids, 3 boys. So I'm trying to put some structure in line. And, and he said, okay. And I said, what are you going to do for me if I buy you that? And he goes, I'm going to build you a house. And he was dead serious. And I mean, of course, I was like, okay. Okay. Oh, that was a pretty good answer, right? But he just came in here and gave me a hug. And that is what you see here. Her hugging that star. And he came in here to tell me thank you for doing that for him, for getting that for him. You know? And I was talking about my baby, and this being your baby. This is your baby, and that's why you want to protect it. And look at this little skull that's in the baby that's in the pot. With the star is on the pot. The wish, the dream, the star. Guys, I mean, the sinks aren't going unnoticed. That's insane. And there's so much emotion that you're afraid of this, because this is something, again, that's the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus energy, and this came out in pile 1 too, Scorpio, Taurus energy. This is about your possessions, what you have. And right now you have love, which Venus is Taurus. You have love here for what this is, and it's something that's grounded. And it's hard to release that out to all of this. These are all emotional cards here. The Chariot is in reverse, which is relying on someone else here to put your emotions in the right order. And that's something that you don't need to be doing, is relying on others to how this makes you feel. You need to be proud of yourself regardless of how anybody else takes whatever this is. Because if they're not taking it in now, there's someone out there that will, I promise you. There's someone out there that's going to love your work, that's going to connect with it. Those are the people that you need to be concerned about. Not everybody's going to be that way. So you need to stop kind of allowing others to take those, to show you what your emotions need to be. And maintain this willpower and courage that you're doing this, you did this, and how proud of yourself you are. But then you have this Temperance here in reverse, which is Sagittarius energy, Cancer here as well. And you have the Page of Cups here in reverse. So the Page of Cups is, I don't know how emotionally I'm going to handle this. This is the way I'm seeing it. And you have that more emotion with Temperance there right underneath it. And being afraid it's going to upset you. Being afraid it's going to bring out some anger within you if it doesn't go well. That's other things that are there. Those are some shadow parts that are there. And it's okay, because you put so much effort into this and you care so much about what this is. If others don't see it, that you're doing this, and that you're trying to do something that brings a lot of joy, that's going to cause, you're going to be bitter. It's going to cause some anger there. And it's okay. You just need to acknowledge that that's there. But you don't need to allow other people to affect you in this way of letting them control how you feel emotionally. That's about this courage here and strength. You don't need to justify other people's emotions or try to make everybody be obsessed with what this is. Everybody's not going to look at this in the way you have. It's so important to you because of the journey that you've been through to get to here. It's like looking at somebody and going, you have any idea how much courage it took me to even put it out there? That's what you need to be so proud of. That's what you need to be thinking about, regardless of what everybody says about it. That's how you build your own inner strength here. You change the way that you're seeing this, change your perspective of this, shift your mindset here. Why is the Knight of Pentacles here? Knight of Pentacles. Why is this maybe slow moving process, but not trying to make everybody happy? Being more focused, more like a Knight of Wands energy, staying more focused and driven towards your goal, right? Why is the Knight of Cups here? The Knight of Swords. It's the only one I didn't mention. That's about taking action. Look at this, though. This Knight of Swords, he's moving forward, right? He's taking action. But he's not looking at where he's going. He's looking off to the side of him. And I keep saying this about you taking action and looking at how other people are reacting to this. Who cares? I mean, just put it like that bluntly. Who cares? Who cares if it's something that you love and you want to do, it fulfills you? It's long as you're not hurting anybody, who cares? Don't do whatever people want you to do because it's not what they would be doing. Some people are just saying that because they're jealous that you have the courage to do it and they don't. Right? So why is this? I tell you, the mama comes out in me, guys, in these readings. Sometimes I can't help it. And no, my kids don't like listening to me lecture like this. I don't even know if my son ever even listens to me anymore. Why is death in reverse? There's the King of Pentacles. Yeah. See, the Queen of Pentacles, and that's you hold on to that dream. She's the nurturer. So this is about you being in that masculine energy within yourself and taking on that, taking the lead there within yourself. Think about it more in the King of Pentacles energy instead of in the more feminine energy there. To where you want to nurture this. We already know that you've nurtured this, whatever this is. But the King of Pentacles is, he honors himself by showing what it is that he has. Look at this. I've built all of it. Isn't it great? It doesn't matter because I still have this King of Pentacles. I'm still the King of Pentacles regardless. Regardless of what you say, regardless of what you say, I'm still, look at what I did. Look at what I've done. It's amazing. Right? There could be someone in particular. For some of you, this could have to do with the father figure, with this King of Pentacles being here. Maybe even kind of a husband or someone that you feel like is someone that's been long-term in your life in some kind of way. There's still something that you're clinging on to with that, being a part of creating some sort of roadblock. How that person in particular, this won't resonate with everybody, but there's something to do about how that person in particular is somewhat affecting you. There's something what is that? That you're still clinging on to, this idea of. Okay, something else here is that maybe an idea that you're gonna have this instant reward or gratification from what this is. You know, you really kind of narrow in your vision there to it has to be like, it's going to go from, I'm putting it out there to it's going to go all the way to here. They're wanting you to have a realistic vision here of that because this is the pinnacle. So it takes some time to get to that King of Pentacles. He didn't get there in one day. And the reason behind that, I think, is so that you can get to a more stable place emotionally of how to deal with whatever this is. So, like, let's just say that you put something out there and you had some time go by and you had, like, one person say something that's not so great about it. You know, you had one bit of criticism that wasn't that great. Not a good review there, right? But you can kind of deal with that emotionally. You gotta... You know, it may take some of y'all more time than others. It's kind of different for everybody, but you kind of deal with it. What if you, but it's gradual, right? Necessary. Then you get maybe 1, 2. By the time you get like the fifth one, it's like, well, everybody's got an opinion. You know what I mean? Like, but if you were in a position where you went from, you just put yourself stuff out there and then it just went from one to way extreme. Take the ratio of that, okay? Because then you could go from 5 to maybe 50 people coming at you with not such great. Even if you have, you know, 500 people that said it was awesome, that 50 is a lot more than 5. You know, like the comparison to that, it's not so gradual then. There's a lot, like think about reading those reviews versus that one thing that somebody said. You know what I mean? The pressure of that's way more intense. And what this is kind of saying here is that utilize this and allow this to kind of sit with you in a different way so that you can find that stability within your emotional self. And you have the reins of how you react to things. You have the reins there. You're not worried about getting upset. You're not worried about, you know, letting your emotions get the best of you here. You have the reins of being able to take control of this, no matter what anyone else is saying about that. Tell me about this Page of Swords. For some of you, and this won't resonate for everybody either, but there's some of you that has someone spying on you in a way, keeping track of you in some way. They're looking at your progress here. They're being sneaky about it. Not to be deceptive or anything like that. They're just focusing on you and your growth in some kind of way. Tell me more about that, Page of Swords. 3 of Cups. This is someone around you that's close to you that you're looking at. This is someone that's closer to you. But for some of you, this is, hold on, I gotta figure that out real quick. What is that about, that particular, okay. The Hermit in reverse. There's someone here that's watching your growth, that's close to you in some kind of way. That's watching you like blossom, come out of your shell. Why are they watching you? There's a reason behind that. You have the 8 of Cups and the Hierophant in reverse. This is someone that's watching you leave, like going against tradition in some kind of way, or going against what other people are doing or saying, and going towards what it is that you want and desire for yourself. But why? Why is this person in particular like this? King of Cups in reverse, Scorpio energy, Taurus energy here as well, and Virgo. This is someone that you could have left behind or walked away from. For some of you, this could be someone that you were married to at some point, with the Hierophant being here. There's someone that's watching you like grow or like blossom and come out of your shell. And I said that. You have the shell as his head. That's in your close circle in some kind of way. I'm actually going to put this back too. Okay, so let's keep going. Why is the 10 of Swords here in reverse? Are you going to come out? It's the 9 of Wands. That was weird. Well, because the 9 of Wands is about, you know, it's a struggle. Like, it's a test in your faith and your perseverance. And it's this 10 of Swords here in reverse. You're doing all this in a way because you want to have improvements here. You want to be able to be yourself and you do what it is that you feel like you're meant to be doing. And you could be affecting a lot of the people that are around you here in a good way. This is a card of that emotional support that's there. But you know, you're already kind of gearing up, and you already know, I mean, the struggle here for you would be it not doing great, you know? And then having to recover from that. But y'all really aren't acknowledging the strength that you have. You're really not acknowledging how much courage that you've had throughout this. I think that if you would just see it and acknowledge it. Tell me about this Ace of Swords in reverse. What is this? You have the 5 of Wands here. This is this jealousy. This is this other people around you. You know, this is this part that you need to break through. This is also you not using your own kind of idea. You know, that creativity I said was so unique and different. Not just doing it your way, but comparing to others. You know, and this is competition. You know, you feel like these people are part of what your competition is out there. But then you're just kind of, you're falling in line. And this is about you being somewhat different from others. Maybe even majorly different from others. There's more here. I'm going to dig in this a little bit. I want to see more about that. There's more there. Where's this King of Pentacles? Tell me more about this. The Eight of Swords in reverse. You need to get out of your head here with whoever this is, if this is a particular person. You're clinging on to that, what this person is going to think here. Whoever this is to you guys. It's Capricorn energy. Or this just structure, you know? You need to get out of your head with that, whoever that is. There's something to do with that, that person. That person being somewhat of using something here. Using something against you or using something over you. If something doesn't work out or accomplish the way that you're wanting it to, you need to get out of your head because that's just blocking you. You're just holding on to that. What is the shadow part of this? Eight of Swords first. The Tower. You're worried that there's someone here, guys, and this, not for everybody, but there's some of you, there's someone here, and you'll know, that you're thinking, if this doesn't work out, if it doesn't go good, if it's just is complete chaos and it's just destruction, it doesn't go right, it's destroyed, then this person is kind of getting what they wanted, or getting the upper hand, or this is someone here that in your life that's telling you not to do this, or that you can't do it, or something to this nature. This could even be just a, you know, a archetype in a way of some kind of masculine figure in your life that told you that you couldn't do this, or it wouldn't work out in some kind of way. It's only going to cause destruction. It's not going to work. This is something that's keeping you stuck here, Death in reverse, from having this complete rebirth in your life with whatever this is and how it's going to excel you and move you forward. You need to get out of your head with that. It's destroying this. Tell me about this Three of Cups. There's something else here with this Page of Swords that I'm missing. What am I missing? The Ace of Wands. There's other people around you that you do have a supportive system here. Use this as inspiration for yourself to push you forward. These people are like soul contracts, you know, part of your soul tribe here that are sent to you to help inspire you to, you know, to put it out there. Be honest with yourself. Look at yourself in the way that they look at you. You know, acknowledge the fact that this is something that you could be on fire here, you know, in a good way. And she's playing the fiddle here. So no, is it a fiddle or a flute? Some of you, no, it's not. It's a match. But it looks like she's playing the flute. So some of you, this has to do with music. It's a match. Yeah. You have the power to start all of this. It's in your hands. It's that creativity inside of you. It comes from you. For some of you, this might have actually something to do with your hands. In some kind of way. But this is about you creating this for yourself. The passion and that desire that's inside of you to do this. And other people, having the good support system around you is so important. People that inspire you. And allowing them to do that if you already do. Okay. Let's get some of the spirit messages over this now. There's that Knight of Pentacles. And there's that big snail, that shell. You have that Four of Swords underneath there. So this is something you should sit and contemplate on. Moving just as slow as you can be. But, you know, we talked about this. That's okay. if that's the way that it is for you. It's necessary, and you may give yourself a hard time about that, like, oh, this is taking forever. Why is it taking so long? And they're saying here, be thankful. We're trying to help you get into a good emotional place before we just throw everything on you, right? It's like someone teaching you. I just got the weirdest image. It's like someone teaching you how to lay concrete. And they say, okay, watch me, so you know how to do this. And then they show you, and they walk off and say, okay, now you do the rest. And you're like standing there going, Can we do this again? Can you show me one more time? Can you stand here and tell me what to do? What if I mess up? What if I don't get it right? You're just going to come back and yell at me, you know? You don't want people around you that aren't going to support you either. Especially if it's something that you're unaware of or you don't know. Don't be afraid to ask. Most of the time, sometimes we're afraid to ask other people to help us in certain things because we think things like this. Oh, I don't want them to think that I'm stealing that idea, son. I don't want them to think that I'm just, you know, I'm not happy with the way that they're doing something. So if I bring something up, I don't want them to be like this, or I don't want them to, because we care about these people, right? They're a supportive group. And, well, it's going to hurt too if they tell you that's not a good idea, right? But when you're doing that, most of the time that comes from your own insecurities. That comes from your own self. You know, it really doesn't have anything to do about them. It comes from you feeling kind of putting all that stuff on yourself. And why can't you just be a good person and need help? You know what I mean? You know how many times I have somebody come up to me and say, well, especially my kids, my oldest, well, both of them actually, but two, the middle and oldest child, say, well, I was going to ask you for your help, but, you know, but this, but that, but I already asked you once, but I know you already told me how to do it, so, and I'm like, I don't care, just come back and ask me again. I'll help you. Something like that. It's like you're afraid to intrude on someone or something. There's something there that it's not them, it's you that you need to kind of look at, okay? Okay, I'll get off that. It's not going to resonate for everybody anyways. So tell me about this Knight of Swords and this Knight of... There's a lot to do with you doing this and moving forward, right? And feeling need to take action here with all these Knights. Tell me about this Knight of Cups with this Knight of Swords. What's advice on this? Knight of Cups with the Knight of Swords. The Emperor in reverse, Aries energy. Do it for yourself, if anything else. Do it for yourself. Make sure you're doing it for yourself. As long as you're doing something that's, you know, it's not hurting anybody, it's for you, and so you feel like you're gonna benefit from that, then you're on the right path. Okay. Remember how difficult it was to get to this place too. Tell me about that Death in reverse with the King of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Lack of courage here, guys. Leo energy for me. A lack of courage. You're worried about facing someone in particular. We're just worried about facing others. This is what keeps you kind of in this comfortable place of being stuck. You need to break through that barrier so you can shed that old skin. You need to step up and have that courage. Take courage in what that is. She is very creative, you know. That's that Leo energy there again. That's creativity and children, you know, 5th house. So that's what we're talking about here, this inner child and that creativity that you feel to do something here. Kind of letting that be your driving force here. Tell me about the Ace of Wands here, the 3 of Cups, Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles in reverse. Procrastinating. You procrastinate. You only is about a solid start for yourself. You know, sometimes Spirit will send us people around us that help us when we need it. They're like angels. They use us in that way. And you're not utilizing this supportive energy that's around you. And they're there to help you to stabilize this idea, this thought that you want to cherish so much. These are your soul tribe coming in to help you with this, to help you have that solid new start, to take off. So if you have people right now that are kind of reaching out, connecting with you, offering you things, this and that, things are there. I mean, there's a sense of having some sort of boundary there, but there's also a sense of recognizing that, you know, this could be Spirit also sending you these things, sending you these people, sending you, and especially if you already have this supportive energy around you and they're bringing you ideas and thoughts, and it being okay to ask too is something that's there. The longer you kind of procrastinate doing that because of any insecurities about, you know, stepping outside of your comfort zone a little bit and asking questions about something, you know, even if that's what it is. That's keeping you stuck from having that solid start. Not just a new start, a solid start. Okay, so let's see about the 10 of Swords in the reverse with the Ace. With the 9 of Wands. 10 of Wands. This is just a burden that you're creating here for yourself that needs to change. You know, you go from the 9 to the 10 here. So if you allow what other people may say about whatever it is about you, about whatever it is you're doing, if you allow that to be a fear factor for you moving forward, then this 9 of Wands, where you're protecting yourself or you're trying to be strong and you've been through everything, so you know you're standing guard and you're ready to fight, you know, in that kind of way. That's going to turn into a 10 of Wands, which will end up just being a burden, and where this is meant to be a blessing. This is meant to be a star. You're meant to be a star. So be careful about the energy and time and effort you put into gearing up and being ready to defend yourself. Defend your work, defend your artistry. Is it artistry work? Anyways. Sorry. Artist work, right? I'm not sure, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, let's move on. Why is the Ace of Swords in the reverse here? Spirit with the 5 of Wands. The Empress in reverse. Well, holy moly, guys. You have the Emperor and Empress here, both in distorted energies, and Justice is on the bottom of the deck. With that Queen of Pentacles in reverse, that 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hermit and the Fool's there too. That Hermit energy is telling you to come out of your shell, and the Fool is there saying, you're a fool if you don't. If you don't. Because you have an opportunity here to really excel, that you're procrastinating, you're holding strong here. You don't want to hurt your pride here either. This is part of it, right? I mean, this is part of it. You have the Emperor in reverse, the King of Pentacles here. So your pride is a part of this. It's not such a negative way. It's just that you have this star. You don't want anybody to squash your dream here, right? Could you imagine, you know, the look on my kid's face if I told him he couldn't accomplish something? If he came up to me and said, Mama, I just want to be a race car driver so bad, and I would be terrified, right? But I would also not look at him and say, you're not going to do that. There's no way you can do that. You'll never do that. You'll never be that. Could you imagine my 6-year-old's face if I said that to him? How devastating. Why would you do that? We don't do that. You know, as parents, we protect our kids' dreams. Or you should. You should. And this is about you and your dream. This inner child, this dream that you have. Protect it and keep it safe. You can do it. It's here. It will fall into balance here. It's almost like Spirit's trying to bring you justice here, but you won't allow it to happen because you have to take that leap first. This Empress in reverse, Taurus energy is back. So there's that possessiveness over that thing that you're holding on to there. It's your success, though, you know, letting it outside of yourself. That success. This is about you not depending on other people and how they feel about things, and really doing the thing that makes you unique and different. Going off of that, not adapting to anyone else or what they want or anything like that. Creating something solely for yourself, from yourself here. Not being dependent on all that other stuff around you for it to work out. You know, those people will come that need to hear what it is that you're doing, that need to see what it is that you're doing, that are attracted to it. The ones that need it will happen. But you got to get yourself into balance here, okay? Your masculine and your feminine energies, you have to get them in a balanced place, so where you can take control and you can create something here for yourself in a well-balanced emotional place where you're doing what is best and what is right for you to have the solid new start here in the middle. Not creating burdens for yourself that are unnecessary, unrealistic expectations, and not being in a place where you don't feel good enough or have the courage to do this. Okay. I'm going to kind of do the same as I did for pile 1, I guess. I want to get one of these. Okay, I feel really pressured to get some eyes in, I guess. Oh, nope, these ones. Let's do these. There's a message I'm missing. Dang it. I always know when I feel the need to get like certain cards that there's got to be something that I'm missing here. So I missed something. What is it? What did I miss? Be open to change. Yeah. Be receptive to new experiences. Change leads to growth. There's some changes that you're going to have to go through here, right? Obviously. And this might be something that kind of sits on you as well, because you don't know how this is going to change things for you. And this is a lot of that outside influence that's there. I picked up on that in the very beginning with that judgment. But what if it does go great? You know? What if it does? What if you aren't judged as harshly as what you think? What if you really are that star? You have to make the change, because either way you're going to be growing, and you'll grow for whatever it is for your highest good. If this is something that... Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. I have no idea where I left off. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I just had to pause because I have one kid that came in here. I swear to y'all, he's trying to pull some of his teeth out because to get some money from the tooth fairy so he can buy something. And then I had to explain to him, you can't do that, or the teeth are not going to be good, and she's not going to want them. You won't get as much money. And then the other one came in here asking me about months and how many weeks are in a month. So between that and this, I just completely sidetracked me. So I apologize. I don't know how to get back to what I was saying. Maybe we'll come back there in a minute. Let's just keep going. Something to do with change leads to growth. Not knowing what that's going to look like. It could be great, right? Taking that chance, it could be great. What transpires. Oh, one fell on the floor. That's patience. Number 21 here is with confusion as well, which is the world. So, obviously, y'all know what I'm going to say. Patience fell on the floor. It's like, you know, spirits in a way kind of running out of patience here. And you may have felt this way too, like, man, this is taking forever. You know, we talked about that, but there's a reason behind that you can't see. So they're not just, you know, it's not just happening for you because it's just not happening for you. There's reasoning behind that. It has to do with you feeling comfortable with where you are. That confusion with the world ties into that, though. It's about you not understanding why this is taking as long as it has. and being confused. It is confusing because you're like, should I be? At some point you may have like, is this the right thing for me? Because I feel like, you know, is this slow and steady wins the race, or did I miss the boat here in some way? But it has to do with its confusion that you're creating within yourself. And I think that you just need to readjust your vision here and how you're seeing that. Look at this. Fear and awakening just popped out. Fear and awakening. We also have apology here, and I can't unsee this. So this other person that's here that you're trying to prove wrong in some kind of way. You know, there may be some kind of apology from that person eventually. Just saying. Maybe, you know, or maybe that's something that you're waiting on or expecting or wanting from this person. If everything goes great, this person will apologize one day. They didn't see my vision. You know what I mean? But that's something that you can just, it's just, that could just create some kind of bitterness inside of you. You need to be very careful about that. You don't want that to be a part of your journey. Just have to accept that and move forward. You have awakening and fear here. Someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation, so this is taking that change towards that growth, that step. This is that actual step to do this and move forward. But here you are, expecting the worst, afraid of failure, wasting time on those negative thoughts. This is why Spirit's running out of patience with you here. Yeah, this is what you need to release and get your mindset off of here. Okay. Okay, so let's get one of these. These are the Spirit message cards, and then we'll get one more Spirit message card, and then we'll get Soul Truth and some initials. Spirit message, please. All right. Inspire passion. Life devoid of passion can be a boring and uninspired blank canvas. How crazy that it says blank canvas. That slowly drains your soul. Now is a time to regenerate your passions and rejoin life. This is an opportunity to set new goals, which will in turn reconnect you with all that is sacred. My voice started to go away there at the end. Not much to say about that. I mean, it's kind of what we've already been talking about, right? That passion, you know, you're kind of pushing that aside a little bit because you're overshadowing it with all this negativity here in a way. And it's not like it's so bad. It's just that it is there. It is a blockage for you. That confusion that's there. Regain your focus. How funny, these cards. These Spirit message cards have been on point, I feel like, in these readings. Travel life matters. Travel or trivial. There you go. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. So there's other things around you that are keeping you off from being inspired to do what this is. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. That's kind of a message for Pile 1 in a way. So being able to stay connected and stay grounded in this idea here. You have this Ace of Swords. You have this Ace of Swords here. It's everything's going to work out and go together and intertwine together the way that it's meant to. Having faith in that and not allowing like outside circumstances of what's going to happen or what people say or what this and what that outside of that be a factor, that fear factor that's here. This is a part of you transforming and leveling up, moving forward. You know, you're having that this new kind of, there's two cards here. What's the word I'm thinking of? Shift inside of you. The shift is taking place. I mean, they're wanting you to make the best out of this. 27, 7. 7 is a number of an alignment. It's a very divine number. You coming into alignment with this new version here of yourself and finding balance with that. That's what we're looking at. So we have, does my life have room for more pleasure and play? Okay. In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in a certain relationship or with work. Some of you, this is about letting go of something and really creating something completely fresh and new for yourself. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to expecting a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? This is about you really changing and yeah, this is exactly what I just got done talking about, you shifting into something new, something different. Today's soul action. What would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play. Let go of any need to produce anything. So there's something to do with you taking also some time to rest, or taking break periods or time to where you pull away from all this, because that's really where that inspiration blossoms. You have to give yourself, if you have all this weight of how you want things to go is on you all the time, then it can really be a really damper on inspiration. It's when we're in those times where we are feeding that inner child that we're most inspired. You know, so that's something that's definitely here. When was the last time I danced freely? So again, this idea of you feeding that inner child. Dance. Because it will shift you into a beautiful state. Because it will get you out of your head and into your body and your heart. Because fear lives in your head, along with anxiety, control, guilt, frustration, and impatience. In just a few minutes of dancing, you will make the shift, capital shift. You will feel a change of joy and confidence that take over you. You will feel a soul reminder to live and lead from your heart. Dancing is a tool to ground us in the now. It triggers happiness and is the gateway to freedom, to be free and dance. Today's soul action is dance for 3 minutes to your favorite song. Notice the inward fire grow inside, within, and the feeling that you feel being you. You are a wild, loving force. Express it with a dance today. I would highly recommend that, you guys. I would highly recommend that. Yeah, I do that every time I'm in my kitchen cooking. Every time. Every time I'm in my kitchen cooking by myself, my headset on, I'm dancing. And my kids come in there and I try to get them to dance with me. They act like they don't like it, but I think that they do. Okay. You live in a waking dream all day and all night. So play the role that you desire and create the world that you want. That's awesome. That's exactly like you're reading here. So make that decision here with the Two of Swords. This is also about balance, which is something that we talked about with you shifting into this energy. And the Two of Pentacles there, which is about balance, juggling things, you know, but making sure that you're keeping some time and energy to yourself is really important. Making sure that you're really maintaining that time to yourself as well to have that inspiration come into light. You have an opportunity that's coming here. Take the opportunity that Spirit's kind of given you here. And also with these, you have Three of Pentacles. So again, there may be someone else you're working with or wanting to work with you, or something to do with working together with someone to accomplish whatever this is. We have respect. So respect your work just like you want other people. Yeah. Yeah, you want other people to look at your work in such a great way, then you need to also look at your work in that same way. Don't talk bad to yourself. You know, that's that healthy boundary. I'm heard. Yes, you are. And this pulls on those this actually heard really pulls on those, that inner child thing from if you came from an environment to where you couldn't really speak what it is that you want, very empathic, you had to read other people's energies to know what to say, what not to say, and how to act, how not to act, by, you know, not upsetting that person or something to this nature. But now knowing that you have a voice you can use, you know, you can make decisions for yourself, you can take up new opportunities. You don't have anybody telling you you cannot do something. Maybe you do, but you can take control. You decide of that. You know, you can speak your truth here. You are heard. Intimacy. I think this intimacy has to do with, for some of you, if you're an artist, well, anything that has to do with what we talked about. How deep do you go? Allow yourself to go as deep as you can, because that's where that real, raw inspiration really comes from. And that could also bring up these emotions inside of you that need to be released as well. So don't be afraid to go there, is what they're saying. That's where the real awesome kind of messages or creativity comes through. I'm grabbing more, and I didn't even mean to, guys. But we have a new beginning, and be vulnerable. So this is what I was talking about, being vulnerable, that place inside of you here. That, oh my gosh, how crazy. 2 of Wands. And there's your King of Pentacles again. Yeah. Plan that. Plan that. This new beginning. Just be vulnerable with it. Wow. Didn't mean to do that. I'm glad I did, though. That's Capricorn energy that's there, by the way. You're going to blossom if you really pull out that creativity inside of you. Don't be afraid to tell people what's a good idea or what you think. So you have a 2 of Cups here, which is about a partnership. Creating some sort of partnership here with somebody could be important. This could be a relationship, but it could just be a soul contract that you have here. Guys, this is crazy. This is the only thing we're missing out of these stickers, is the 2 of Cups. Do y'all see that? 2 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, 2 of Cups. This is about balance. Go look up the number 2222 as well. There's an angel message there for you. This is about balance in everything, so that you can plan, decide, balance it out, and move forward with this opportunity. You have Scorpio energy here. This is about you and that shift that's transpiring here. You have the shell and coming out of your shell, something we talked a lot about, especially this Knight of Pentacles that's here. You have K and S. You also have J, I, Y, N, and the heart. Jenny. Maybe, I don't know, Forrest Gump just came to mind, but it did. Yeah, maybe this is like your Jenny, you know? Okay, guys, what is here? Nothing. We have Kin. K-I-N. Kins. K-I-N. We have nothing. We have nothing. There's nothing here. Maybe there is, and I'm just not seeing it, but I don't see nothing. I don't see anything. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up so y'all can see. Nothing. I heard in time in my head. In time. You could have joy here with the heart, if that was your O. Joy will come in time. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you here. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope this resonates. I hope it makes sense. You do have yin here. Yeah. Getting in control of that emotional self, There could also be a divine feminine here with yin. Yeah, being somebody's. You have that Two of Cups in the bowl. Yin to the yang. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope this resonates. I hope it makes sense. Good luck to you guys moving forward. And I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 3. So if you chose the Jade, it's a precious stone, a valuable stone. Jade is a highly valued stone. So this talks a lot about your body's wellness, balance, harmony, and it can also mean strength. It can be good for strength, for luck, but your good overall health. There's properties here, healing properties that balance out the processes of the body. It's good for your home as far as a balanced home or overall life. What else? I've also heard that Jade is good for warding off evil or not so healthy environments or people even. You know, it kind of protects you from their unhealthy habits within their own self, you know, that willpower and strength from that. So that's what I've gathered. Okay, so we're going to put this to the side, which is so pretty with my flowers. That matches so awesome. Okay, so let's see. I haven't looked at this. We have number 38, Endless Possibilities. So I think that you're sitting in a place to where you're wanting to embrace the emotions that you have. You feel like it's something that could really force you or drive you to somewhere, but you're almost afraid of these emotions. You may be someone that has really big emotions and those are scary to you about things, or why you feel so intensely about something, why you feel this way, like you need to do this or you have to do this. Those emotions that you have are somewhat, I feel like, kind of scary for you. But you have this like inner knowing that's coming out of that, where you feel like that feeling that you feel, those feelings that you feel could bring about this endless possibilities with that. When you do tap into those emotions and you allow yourself to kind of go there, you think about all the endless possibilities that you're capable of. It's almost like when you free yourself. When you free yourself into being able to acknowledge the things that you could accomplish, acknowledge the things that you're capable of, you could be capable of, and the emotions that bring that on, you know, the feelings that you feel when it comes to that and how you feel. This is something that you really want. This is something that you really desire to have. And it's really laying on you, and it's something that how much you want whatever this is something that, and how that you feel like you're capable of this, or you can take some action here, and all the endless possibilities that tie into it. All these feelings are somewhat scary to you. These feelings are scaring you in a way. That's keeping you with your head down, and you're not wanting to fully acknowledge them. It's like you're scared of your own feelings here in a way, of what you're capable of. What's possible. Number 38 here. This could have to do with some of you, like manifestation, and what you're capable of manifesting for yourself. Knowing that you feel like you can do a lot or accomplish a lot, or that you could really grow. You know, you have that feeling inside of you where you're just like, I want to take this challenge on. I feel like I can do it. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I can. I just feel like I can do it. It's just there. I can't explain it. It's such a heavy feeling. Because it's also, there's a scared energy that's behind it too. Like, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing and I need to move towards this direction. The feelings are here, but it's also terrifying at the same time because I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm going to have to do this regardless of these terrifying feelings that I have. I'm going to have to take some sort of action or step towards this. If I want to grow, if I want to have some possibilities. And I just know that this is meant for me. I know that I'm supposed to be doing this. But yet it's terrifying. So those emotions are somewhat scary to you. So maybe you're kind of wondering how to overpower that. The scary part, the fear, that's there. It's not that you don't have the courage, I feel. It's that you trying to find balance with it, I think. I think that the possibilities that you could accomplish great things, I feel like is what's the scary part. And how deeply you feel about doing something, taking some kind of action. It's scaring you. Those feelings that you feel about it is scaring you. For some of you, I feel like this has to do with the feelings that you have for someone. Could be even bringing that up. So you're trying to not so much acknowledge them. You have the Four of Wands there with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. You're trying to not give them too much attention because they are building up those emotions. For some of you, this has something to do with manifesting. And it's like you've seen some reward from that, and it's like kind of making you nervous, like to need to balance out what you're thinking or the emotions that you feel, not wanting to manifest the wrong thing. That won't resonate for everybody, but that's definitely a message that I'm feeling here. So you have the Ten of Cups in reverse. And the Three of Pentacles in reverse. You need to work with these feelings that you feel. The Ten of Cups is all that feeling I'm talking about, by the way. It's all the feelings. It's all the cups, all the emotion. And it's in reverse because you're not fully acknowledging it. I think this is something that you're afraid of losing. Because when we start to develop the feelings of the possibilities of, for some of you, this could be committing to someone, working with someone, collaborating on something endless possibility of something working out for you. When we start to feel those, then obviously there's a risk of loss, which is the scary part, I feel. Especially if we're talking about loving someone. The Seven of Swords is here. That's the scary part. Being betrayed. Someone stabbing you, in the heart or in the back and running away. Now, there's no way of getting around this card, the Seven of Swords. A lot of readers, we say, oh, everybody thinks the Seven of Swords is a betrayal, deception, but that's not always the case. And it's really not. It's about strategy to avoid that conflict in a way. But in this one, you can't see past this. I mean, he's literally stabbed in the corner over there. So he's in pain. He's hurting. So you could be allowing some sort of betrayal that you've experienced to have a tremendous effect on committing to having a possibility that you feel is there. Those emotions that are there, that are very overwhelming at this point. Cancer energies here with that crab. But those emotions that are there and wanting to find balance with that, it's scary because you're holding on to this here, this betrayal that's here. And I am seeing this as a betrayal. But for some of you, this is about not wanting to betray yourself. Actually, for either scenario, it's about not wanting to betray yourself. Knowing that you have all this power within. Knowing that you want, and that's that manifestation thing that came in that I was talking about. If you have the power to manifest, you don't want to betray yourself, manifest the wrong thing, and then end up in the, end up in a, wet creek without a paddle. You don't want to put yourself in that spot. So it's almost like, you're wanting to find balance with these emotions in a way, or you're trying to contain them somehow because you feel like you're trying to do what's the best thing or the healthiest thing for you. But there's clearly these cards right here indicating a betrayal wound that's keeping you from being able to commit to something that involves your emotional self. Happiness here. It's almost like you feel like this is it. Endless possibilities here scare you into you feel like there's endless possibilities of the bad, of the negative ways that this could go, how this could hurt me. There's all kinds of ways that this could hurt me. That is where your mind goes, which keeps you from committing to those emotions that are there. They're there for a reason. Trying to gain power over them, you know. You have 2 10s here too, by the way, because you have 7, 3, 10 in the middle. And you have 11 here. This is being on the right path. So that's 1, 1, 1, 1. Somebody wanted to. 11, 11 is there. We did see that 4 of Wands. King of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. This is about using everything you have to contain these emotions there. The 4 Cups. Guys. Okay, I held my phone up to show y'all what time it was. It's 11:11 right now, but I have my kid's face on my phone, so I didn't want y'all to, I had to edit that out. So here, look. It's 11:11 a.m. right now. But it doesn't matter if y'all don't believe me or not. That's an awesome sync. There has been really cool syncs coming through this reading. That is so bizarre. I just looked over and it was 11:11 and I was like, holy cow, that is insane. Yeah, I held up my phone, but it has this huge picture of my kids on the screen. I don't want their faces to be all over the internet, so. Okay. So you have this 4 of Cups here that just came out. This 4 of Cups, it's funny, this cat, this inner knowing is here too as well, by the way. But this cat looks terrified, right? And it's funny too, the way that this is. There's 4 Cups here, and then you have 1 vision of 3, 1 vision of no, there's 4 there. They're all the same. The way I was looking at it was, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, you know? It's like this deeper and deeper and deeper thinking about all the different ways that this could be a betrayal in some kind of way. Betraying you, betraying yourself, someone betraying you, you betraying others. Just all this kind of stuff is like this effect. It just gets deeper and deeper and deeper of the extreme of what could happen. This King of Pentacles is wanting to ground himself here. Trying to ground yourself, trying to find that balance with those emotions. It's running away with you though, because this is so scary here. You really are searching and looking for some sort of truth or clarity. Some of you may feel this betrayal here. Some of you may have done this betrayal here. Where you've created some sort of unhappiness, or you feel maybe you hurt someone and then, you know, took off, or someone did this to you, but it's definitely something that's laying on you. This 4 of Cups is about choosing to get past what you've lost, or that past of what was, so that you can choose to pull yourself from that to be happy. Choose to move in a direction that's best for you. This is an epiphany, okay? This is where you realize, oh my God, how long have I been sitting here and thinking about this? How much has this betrayal, middle of your spread, how much has this screwed my life up, my relationships? Because I've been holding on to this. You know, possibly some sabotage has gone into this as well. This is you grounding, possibly some of you, this endless possibilities. I don't know why I keep saying possible. You have this knowledge now, and you're just realizing it, and you're grounding it in. And you're trying to find stability there, but it's causing all these emotions to kind of stir up and come up out of you. But this, I feel like for some of you, is a result of possibly being in a relationship or with someone or something that's causing these emotions to come up for healing. And that epiphany's sparking out of this. Why is the Three of Pentacles here? Why you can't commit or move forward. Like in relationships. I think I'm going to narrow this down here a little bit, guys. Because I am seeing this as a betrayal, like relationship wound. And I want to focus on this healing part. But I think that this has a lot to do with where you are in your life, particularly right now. And what relationships are around you at this time that you may have caused some self-sabotage. And this epiphany of that is something that's here. But I want to go back to this Eight of Pentacles that's here. So with that, this Eight of Pentacles is about, it's almost like once you get to a point in a relationship, or once you get to a certain point to where you're, with that, working with someone here on something, you're looking at commitment, that's when things come to a halt here for you. You progress up into this point and then you just back out. This could even, I feel like this is a betrayal wound that you carry, but this could even affect you in your ability to process through an idea that you have or working on a project. It's like you can't even commit to that, or wanting to move in a certain direction, or choosing to do this for yourself, making a decision. You can't even, this affects you in so many different areas of your life. And it's because of this betrayal, or this idea that you could get betrayed, or it's causing you to betray yourself. It's backfiring on you in that way. So instead of someone else betraying you, you're kind of just betraying or sabotaging yourself here from progressing and moving forward and making that happen or work out for you. To grow here. I mean, look at these pentacles and how they're building. It's hindering the endless possibilities that could be here for you. So let's take a look at these emotions. This Ten of Cups is here. Okay, the Five of Pentacles is in reverse with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's that procrastination. There's that wanting to have something solid for yourself, a solid new start for yourself here. And that Five of Pentacles is there in reverse. It's almost like this abandonment. You abandon this. You abandon ship before it gets too intense, right? So let's abandon this before it gets too intense. And it's because of that, it's keeping you from being able to have this really solid beginning for yourself. For some of you, I feel like you never actually got that apology that you really wanted. Or for some of you, you never got to apologize to someone else in the way you wanted, because you're just you feel so emotional about it. Either you feel so guilty about it, or even recognizing that even if this is someone that did this to you, that other person and the emotions that they feel is just so much guilt and shame from that, that they couldn't have the courage to step up and redeem themselves in some kind of way. So instead, they just kind of abandon ship. And this could be something that you do, that you find yourself doing. If it gets too hard, in a way, you just kind of abandon your own emotional self here. This is like, you could recover this. You could recover this here. But you procrastinate to a point because you're just afraid of embracing or feeling those emotions fully. It's too scary to recognize them fully, that they're there. It's like it's like having something on the tip of your nose and somebody saying that you got something right there, and you're like, no, I don't. No, I don't. It's like somebody saying, when somebody says, are you upset about that? And you're like, no, but you really are. And then you're like, okay. My kid does that all the time. My oldest, I'm like, well, it's okay. You don't have to be so upset. He's like, I'm not. And I'm like, okay, sure you aren't. That is there. That's something that's there. Why is the Seven of Swords here? Oh, here's your wish fulfillment, that Nine of Cups. There's your wish fulfillment. See, it's almost like you like staying here in this energy. This is an independent card. This is about you looking out for yourself here. If you share these emotions here with someone else, there's a chance that that person could abandon you. There's something else that's coming up. So it's better yet just to stay to the Nine of Cups, right? I'm going to get what I can from this, everything that I can get from this, having all these cups and these emotions for myself with that independent energy there, Nine of Cups, before this person can hurt me. And I'm gonna take off. It's almost like there's a part of you, and this could be someone else here, there's a part of you that kind of just hauls butt out of there before you really, you may tell yourself too, I need to get out of here before I hurt somebody because I'm starting to get emotions here and now my ear's ringing. I'm going to end up hurting this person because something to do with abandonment here. You may have a hard time trusting in yourself. Trusting yourself. When we go through our life and we have a lot of people that betray us over and over, we have a hard time, obviously, trusting others in any kind of way. We start to protect ourselves. We start to layer that on. You know, all that armor, we start to put it on and protect ourselves. Really keeps us from being able to have pleasures in life, first off, and to feel our emotional self to its fullest. Or those blessings when we have them. But we also can create a lot of pain for others. Not unnecessary pain on others. Because we're just trying to protect ourselves here. And we need to get out of there before that person hurts us. But if you develop an understanding within yourself and how to trust yourself in any situation, there's endless possibilities there. If you can be in a place to where you trust that you're going to make the best decision and you'll know what to do, when to do it, and you trust the feelings that you're feeling, you trust your intuition and those nudges that you get, that's really the only way that we can protect ourselves when it comes to trusting others, is if we trust ourselves first. And I think that you don't trust yourself, and so you kind of also tell yourself, well, I'm going to get out of this situation because I don't trust that I'm not going to hurt this person. It's like a form of self-sabotage. When you create pain on others, it's unnecessary. There could be a lot of illusions that tie into this as well. With endless possibilities, that can be something really good, but also be something really not so good. You know, there's endless possibilities of how this person can really screw me over here. You know, what are they doing? You know, you can get delirious thinking about all that. Seriously push somebody away in that way too. And that could be what you feel like is part of what you would just hurt this person. Because you don't feel like you can trust anybody. So you may put a lot of jealousy or things to that nature on others. Trying to protect your emotions that you are starting to feel. But getting out of there, it's just in time for you to not have to feel them fully, even if it does hurt someone else. So you make that decision that does hurt someone else. For some of you, this could be someone else that's around you that you're dealing with. But you may resonate with some of these messages as well, though. For some of you, this has to do with you not pleasing others and not committing to what others see as your happiness, but actually moving towards something that you see as your happiness that's different from what others have picked for you. And trusting those emotions instead of listening to other people and what you should do and shouldn't do. You know what I mean? What's good for you and what's not. But trusting your own emotions. That's one way to learn how to trust yourself. Tell me about that King of Pentacles here. And the Six of Wands in reverse. You need to recognize the strength that you have within you. Recognize the honor within. Honoring those feelings is something that's really big. That's how you can trust yourself and stabilize yourself. Right now, you do not trust those feelings. So how are you ever going to trust your intuition? How are you ever going to trust yourself? If you don't trust those own feelings that you have, the nudges that you get, how are you ever going to trust that you're making the right decision or the wrong decision? That you should put up your walls or let your walls down? You have to be able to recognize and acknowledge those feelings that you have. You know, it's not to say that someone's not ever going to betray us. That's not the point. The point is that you're stable. You're stable and secure within yourself. You have that inner independence of being able to balance those emotions out when that does happen. Stability within. That's not to say it's never going to happen. You may even see it coming, and that could be beneficial. Not know, oh, this is an illusion that I feel like this person's going to betray me, but knowing. And if you trust your feelings, that's where that knowing is. You know, you hear people all the time say, I had this gut feeling that I just wasn't supposed to go there, that I didn't need to take that trip, or I didn't need to, go there that day or whatever. And then something ends up happening that they could have been in harm in that place. And they're like, I'm right on listening to my gut there, my intuition. And that's trusting in yourself. It's a true testament of trusting in yourself, actually. And if you can be in that place, that's the only way that you can trust others too, because you just trust yourself first. If they don't want to be here, if they're going to betray me, well, that's their issue. That's their problem. I trust that I'll be okay. I'll trust that I'll be just fine. Tell me about this Four of Cups here in reverse. You have the Hanged Man in reverse. You need to change the way that you're seeing this epiphany that you're having about yourself. Right now, you're looking at it in a negative way, but the fact is that you have now this self-awareness that you didn't see before, and you need to acknowledge that part of it. That's where you continue forward. Okay? Because right now, you're kind of sitting in all these emotions that you feel and kind of not know what to do with them or how they've affected you, and you're kind of having this like you're feeling like guilty, or you're kind of having this like pressure that's on you. You're putting this like judgment on yourself right now in some way, like this pressure on you in some way. And you need to kind of release this and let this go. This was a growing experience. My God, give yourself a break. You've been through it. You have had people that have betrayed you. That's why you are in this energy. You got to show yourself some compassion here. The fact is that you are now in this self-awareness, that you now have had this epiphany. So look at that as, gosh, thank God I know this now about myself. Thank gosh. Now I have all these emotions, and I can recognize these emotions in myself, and I know what they mean when they come up. And then there's a whole nother part of that with this endless possibilities here. The other good side of it that you're not looking at right now, because you're kind of looking at the past and the not great. But if you could shift your perspective of the epiphany, the self-awareness that you're having, then you can start looking at that now, what you're going to do with this, knowing, moving forward, how this is going to change for you, how you're going to evolve and shift that perspective. Now, next time these things come up, you're not going to be looking at them the same. There's a possibility you're not going to treat people in that same way, or you're not going to get betrayed in the same way, or you're not going to, you're going to allow yourself to feel fulfilled here when it's there, and feel those emotions when they're there. Okay, well, I wasn't going to get any more cards that flew out. We'll see what that says. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups in reverse, and Queen of Pentacles is here. So yeah, the King and Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, this has to do with a relationship, someone that you feel very solid or grounded with, and a fear of committing to that and moving that forward and progressing that. Kind of, for some of you, you could have abandoned this person in some kind of way out of fear of those emotions that you're developing here, and kind of gotten away with being satisfied with what you had and then moving away, hurting that person. Definitely something that came up here. We have Taurus energy, Pisces, Capricorn energy here. If that's the case and this is a person, you could have rejected this person's cup of love here, this Ace of Cups. Oh, wow, 2 of Cups underneath that. Yeah, definitely this could be a relationship. And then you have 2 sixes. So going back and healing something could be something that's here. You have these 3 sixes that are out. It's about bringing things back into balance, which is what your stone you picked is there. I think that you have this inner knowing or inner feeling that you need to be kind of moving or bringing things back into balance for yourself. And now that you have this awareness that's sitting here. The 6 of Cups is that soulmate energy. So there's some nostalgia going on at this time. You're reminiscing about that. The 6 of Swords in reverse is you going back to something that where there was a conflict, and you do have this 5 of Pentacles. So whatever conflict that was is now something that you're looking at as being something that you've missed the boat here. You've missed out on this. You've missed this, and you want to go back and have this improvement here. Straighten this out. So you may have a disconnection here with someone, or this could just be for some of you, or as it could be both. Recognizing the way that what part you've played in a relationship, you know, taking that awareness of what you have now, even if you can't make amends, just finding that, you know, forgiving yourself or the situation so that you can move forward and have something different or better. But there's definitely, most definitely a relationship here, guys. You have the Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups, the King and Queen of Pentacles. This is something that someone that's been here for a long time. Someone that you see as his counterpart. You could have rejected this person or betrayed this person in some kind of way. So I'm going to get some Tarot De Luz, and we're going to get some messages from Spirit as far as guidance goes. How this could be something that you're seeing as guidance. Strength. Well, actually, that's the Knight of Wands, but you have that line on there. It looks like strength, doesn't it? And having this change here. You could have been a very, not feeling like you were capable. You're capable of doing so much, but not everything. Having that fire, that desire to do something there on you. Like you're capable of achieving certain things, but you can only bring so much to the table. And then kind of letting that go and moving on to something else. It's a pattern for some of you. So we're going to get to the healing messages of this, okay? We're just went through and looked at all the shadow parts and how this has affected you. Okay, the 7 of Pentacles wanted to show up here. In reverse. How this has all affected you long term. How you have not had success in this. And now we're going to get the healing message part of it. So the 3 of Pentacles in reverse with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, please. The healing aspect of this. 2 cards came out. Oh, nope, this is the cover card. That's why they gave me another one. You have the 7 of Wands here in reverse. Needing to defend yourself. is something that's here. This obstacle and this challenge, needing to kind of break this down. Why is it that you cannot commit to something and continue on a path? Or you change directions? Why is it that you can't get past a certain point, right? This is the challenge here for you, is to actually let your guard down. That stopping point that's there. Letting your guard down is a big challenge. And it has to do with loyalty. And not being the unknown. Not knowing if this person's going to betray you or not. Not knowing if someone's going to be loyal to you or not. Wow, okay. Well, let's just say while I was talking here, this all came out. And it's the devil. With the 3 of Wands, the 6 of Cups in reverse, the 9 of Cups again, and that Queen of Wands in reverse. There could have been someone here. You have 2 different queens out. There could have been someone here of your past that betrayed you pretty heavy, that went after what it is that they wanted, or some kind of satisfaction for themselves. This is something that you've still kind of been stuck on. For some of you, this could have been someone in your past that you had a wish with, or you're really happy with, and they betrayed you. And this is something that you're still stuck on this. They're saying here you need to move on from this, because that's only creating some toxicities in your relationships moving forward. This is part of what this betrayal thing is here. The devil's here. You know, this and the 3 of Wands is saying it's time to get out of that. You stuck in this energy of the past long enough. The 6 of Cups in reverse. You need to move on past this way of thinking. It's creating this inability for you to be able to fully move forward. I'm going to take a look at this real quick. Tell me about this Queen of Wands, please. 10 of Wands. There's some sort of burden that you still carry within this. You're keeping that on as a weight that's on your shoulders in some kind of way. But why is this 9 of Cups? There's a selfishness that's going into this. Maybe there's someone that you felt like was really selfish because they went after what it was that they wanted for themselves. You're seeing an epiphany, or seeing this in a different kind of way than what you did before. I feel like karma's coming into play somehow in this. Tell me about this 9 of Cups, where you're seeing a different perspective of something from your past. You have the Death here in reverse, Scorpio energy. You have Leo energy here as well. Capricorn here with this devil. This 9 of Cups with this Death in reverse. This is something some kind of wish that you've had that you've kind of clinged on to. And this could be someone else just being selfish here. Something that you're clinging on to. There's a resentment here that you're holding on to from this that you need to get away from. Something that you continue to wait on to transpire here. 3 of Wands. The 10 of Swords here in reverse. These are all cards of ending, things being over. The 10 of Swords in reverse, you could have been waiting for some sort of improvement from this person in some kind of way. Waiting for this person to see their ways or change. And this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be anybody here. You've just kind of waited for this person to change the way that they are. It's just created something like a burden on them. Or trying to make them happy in some kind of way. Or not being able to ever make them happy is something that lays on you. Clinging on to this thing and proving is just creating this devil energy, this toxicity that's here. It's just creating this stuck. It's just keeping you stuck. Reliving this over and over. There's no change that's there. You need to detach yourself from that devil energy, from that trapped feeling, or that repetitive toxic thought that you're having from the past. You need to detach from that, because it's attaching yourself to these emotions that you could be fulfilling or feeling fulfilled with now. It's part of what's keeping you from feeling these feelings fully. that are in front of you. Some sort of selfishness that ties into that as well from someone else. Maybe that made you feel a certain kind of way if someone was being selfish in a situation. So now if you're doing something for yourself here, you feel as if you're betraying or you're feeling sneaky in some kind of way. You're attaching that past to what was done to you, to what you're doing now in the present, and comparing the two of the things. And there's some guilt and some emotions that are coming up with that. But there's also an understanding and epiphany of seeing that person in the past in a different way than you didn't see before. It's almost like you're being able to live it through their eyes in a way. This is coming up for you to forgive that person or forgive that past situation so that you can move forward. Because you've been holding these resentments for a long time over that, which is creating this inability for you to commit and have these having an emotional connection here moving forward. Being afraid to love fully. This is coming up for that reason. This is there for that reason, for you to be able to. So whatever it is that you've done here, for some of you, this won't resonate for everybody, but for whatever this is that you've done here that's creating these emotions to surface, where you feel the shame or you feel this feeling of guilt, remorsefulness, it's connected to that past. Clear that out. It's there. It's coming up. Karma's being a part of this. The scales are being balanced for you to find peace. You're getting to live it through their shoes in a way and have empathy for them like you never had before, so that you can have that forgiveness and move forward. I know I repeated myself there, but it's just so profound, you know, and if you don't acknowledge it as so, you could actually, I mean, it's just, you just need to acknowledge it as that. This is the opportunity for you to have peace with this for yourself so you can carry forward. Otherwise, it's just going to always be that resentment, or it's going to turn into something worse, like resentment within yourself for this. You need to change your way you're seeing it. It's not why this epiphany is happening. It's for forgiveness. Okay. Why is this 10 of Cups in the reverse here with this 5 of Pentacles in the reverse? I'm really focused on this 5 of Pentacles. Ace of Cups? Yep. This is about this Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups that's here. This is the healing message that's coming through with this, is that you could have this solid, secure foundation here. This is there. It's not that the feelings aren't there in a relationship. That's not the issue. It's that you're not recognizing or acknowledging them as being there. You're trying to ignore it, like that, you know, having something on your face there, trying to ignore it. Feeling a certain way, trying to say you aren't, you know, that is there. You miss this connection. You miss, if this is not with someone particular, it's just love. You just miss this. You miss relationship. You miss love. You miss those full feelings. The only thing that's keeping you from that is forgiveness and courage. Tell me about this 7 of Swords here with this 9 of Cups. You have a Page of Swords in the reverse. Not being honest with yourself. This is a fear. It's like you don't want to look at that within yourself. It's a shadow part of you that you have a hard time looking at. It's like, I don't want to look at that shadow side. I don't want to look at that part of myself. It's that shame that's coming through. I can't believe I've acted this way or done this. I can't believe that I did this. And I remember this feeling, how this felt. Can't believe I've, acted this way in relationships, or I passed this by, or I just got away with what I wanted. Somebody else was selfish like that. I know how this feels. I can't believe I did this to this other person. Like, what am I doing? This all this kind of shameful kind of feeling that's here, that it's there. It's hard for you to fully be honest with yourself about that and really have compassion. There's also something to do with courage only being an illusion that's here. And I'm trying to pinpoint what they're trying to tell me. What are you trying to tell me about that? Okay. The Tower in reverse. Scorpio energy. That Ace of Pentacles and the Sun. Leo energy. This has to do with you don't want to break down this. Courage. Okay. Courage is not mustered in the absence of fear, but despite of it. Okay, it's one of my most favorite sayings. It's the only thing I can see when I look at this too. What you want to achieve right here, then the happiness in an opportunity here, something grounding, something, having that commitment, having all this. So you want this. This isn't the issue. You are this King of Pentacles energy. You want to have this Ace of Pentacles, ground something. That's where you feel secure. You're someone, you could be a heavy earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, but it's important for you to be able to have that stability. You want to be able to commit. That's not the problem here. It's the ability to, but you have to, having this breakdown. You look at this as not having courage here and needing to be strong and block all these emotions out, needing to be strong, not letting this happen to you. Not letting, you don't want to look weak, right? For some of you, it's like you don't want to look weak here. But you have to, with the Tower in reverse, there has to be this change inside of you. It's not weak to acknowledge that you need to change things about yourself and grow and evolve and mature. That's not weakness. Weakness is never acknowledging it in yourself and standing up and saying, oh man, well, I was a real jerk, wasn't I? Weakness is not taking that apology, not apologizing, not doing anything about it. That's weakness. Courage is not being just strong and arrogant, and for some of you, that's not the case. For some of you, it is though, because even if you don't feel like you were necessarily fully wrong, it's that the other person may have lived it in a way different way than you have. It's about having compassion and empathy for the other person. And I'm not talking about someone that's done you just horribly wrong here, guys. So don't even say that. There's a part of just, even if you don't have to accept that person back, it's just accepting that person for who they are so that you can accept how you've reacted in that situation and then move forward. There could have been someone here that was enabling that behavior out of you. They didn't have healthy boundaries in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like the Ten of Pentacles and that Five of Wands. You may be a little bit conflicted about actually having responsibility over a relationship fully, in a way. Maybe a little bit conflicted about something like that. Taking on responsibility for someone else emotionally. That goes back to not trusting yourself again, though. Tell me about this Knight of... Maybe someone was very dishonest with you in the past about what it was that they really wanted. There's something here to do with that for some of you. Or it could be that you weren't completely honest with someone else about what it was that you were really wanting. Or just with yourself. Why is this King of Pentacles here with the Six of Wands in reverse? Strength in reverse. Well, there it is. Leo energy. She's just putting her hand right in that lion's mouth, You need to have some patience with yourself here, with acknowledging these emotions and everything that's here. And again, that's not a sign of weakness. I said this in a reading the other day. It's vulnerability is having the strength to recognize when you can be weak, when you can be vulnerable, Wait, I said that backwards. Strength is the ability to recognize when you can be vulnerable in a situation. That's how, again, you trust yourself. We went through that in the beginning. Strength is recognizing that. Not trying to be this, you know, the King of Pentacles, he can be a little bit, he can be a little bit stern, you know, very straightforward and not really a lot of emotion there. He is worried about his pentacles, his foundation. But at least he's honest, you know. This is about you not wanting to be vulnerable here because you're afraid of failure. Yeah, this is what really holds you back. It's about the experience. You know, it's always like what, I think I said this in Paul too. It's not about what you're gonna, it's not about what could happen that's bad. It's about, think about what you could be missing out on. You know, there's endless possibilities. What could happen that's bad, that's endless possibilities too. It's also endless possibilities the way it could turn out in a good way. But you're only looking at it on the other side, right? Okay. They gave me 3 cards here, told me to shut up. So you have the 2 of Cups in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hierophant in reverse. You may feel like this is something that you just don't feel like is going to happen. And that's why you're just stuck. Like that you had to have this, and this is this Hierophant, or this Hangman in reverse, not seeing another perspective of things. You're very stuck on your ways, like that King of Pentacles, very stuck in a certain kind of mindset of how something has to kind of be. Determined that it has to be this way, which is your way, the way you're seeing it. So you could have disconnected here from someone because you couldn't see their point of view, or you couldn't see anything different from your own like limited belief of how it had to be. You could have procrastinated a relationship a lot because of that as well. Kind of really slow moving because you knew it wasn't going to ever come together fully. That's something that's here. Can I have one card for this Queen of Pentacles? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. There's a lost opportunity here. And I think for some of you, there's a wanting to turn back time in a way. Am I right about that? That Wheel of Fortune in reverse. What am I missing? The World. Yeah. And you have that High Priestess in reverse. This is everything coming out into the open, especially when it comes to those emotions. Look at that. That 10 of Cups there in reverse. So you have anxiety here, backing that up. I think you're worried about all those emotions coming out into the surface because you have this 5 of Swords and the conflict that can come out of that. All that, what you've been kind of hiding here, keeping to yourself, coming out. It's like you're conflicted if you should do that or not. You know, but do you know what I'll see when I look at this? It's a shame that that had to end. This is what I think about when I see this. It's a shame that that had to end. Why did it have to end? Because you weren't seeing it in any other way. You couldn't see it in any other way. Had to be that way. King of Pentacles way. The World is a lesson. There's a lesson here always, right? But this is also about you wanting to go back in time. You know that song, If I Could Turn Back Time? I don't know who sings that. I'm going to look that up, guys. I'm curious to see what the lyrics are of that song. It's an old song, isn't it? If I Could Turn Back Time. Is it an 80s song? If I could turn back time. No, I can't spell. Sorry, give me just a second. If I could turn back time, is that the name of it? Yes. No. Yes, it's Cher. Cher sings this song. And I can't find the lyrics. Oh, here we go. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you. And you'd stay. I don't know why I did the things I did. I don't know why I said the things I said. Pride's like a knife. It can cut deep inside. Words are like weapons. They wound sometimes. I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry. But baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, if I could take those words back and you'd stay. If I could reach the stars and give them all to you, then you'd love me, love me, love me like you used to. Like someone took a knife and drove it deep in my heart. You walked out that door, I swore that I didn't care. But I lost everything, darling, and then there, too strong to tell you I was sorry, too proud to tell you I was wrong. I know that I was blind, and darling, if I could turn back time. Guys. I mean, guys, these songs that have been coming through, that's it. Wow. See how I told you, you made some kind of decision here, you stabbed someone here. You made that decision and you ran off with that Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of somebody getting away with something. And someone's getting hurt at the other end of it. If there's someone here, I'm curious what this person would say to you. Let's look. Let's see that. Why not? Do something a little different with you guys. Oh my God, that song. How crazy. No, you're recognizing kind of like what you've done or why you did it, and everything's coming into play here with that. I can't do this. Leap of faith. It's safe for you to make the move that you're considering. What else? Just being near you is intoxicating. There's someone here that's terrified of getting hurt or already has. Obsession. Someone is gripped by obsessive thoughts. What else? We don't share the same value or goals. That was that Hierophant in reverse that we saw. I couldn't tell you face to face. Longing. Someone is secretly yearning for you. I wish we could go back, guys. Turn back time. Go listen to that song. I've been here before with others. This is this energy. I told you there's something of your past here. For this person too, it could also be something of this person's past that they were afraid of. You know, they may have also had a hard time with trust. I want to be more than friends. Go slow, and I scared myself that day. I feel like some of this is your energy. Or if this is your person's energy, or maybe you could mirror also each other a lot. Okay, so we went kind of a different route there. Let's kind of get back on track for your spirit message reading. The healing aspect of this. We're going to get some of these. These are spirit message oracles. See what you need to focus on here moving forward. Self-sabotage. Well, I couldn't have said it any better myself. This could be some kind of a ancestral pattern that you have that you're not recognizing within yourself, or it could just be a repetitive pattern that's been in your life. So self-sabotage. When you learn to get out of your own way, there will be nothing stopping you. Yeah, have endless possibilities. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's that inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. Okay, we have number 11. Remember we had that 1111 in the beginning. And you have it here again. Number 38, which is 11 and 11. Synchronicities. Embrace the magical moment. You're in the perfect energetic space for manifesting miracles. Allow your wishes to be fulfilled. So that endless possibility in this wish is all something that's really here in this moment in time for you. If you just take it. You know, if you just take it. What is it that you want here? This endless possibility things is something that's big. Oh, let's get a soul truth here. Pile 3. Oh, good grief. Are you one of them? You got 2 cards too here, okay? So let's look at this side first. Name the things you love. Are you one of them? Yeah, are you looking at yourself the same way that you're caring for everyone around you? Or, you know, are you loving yourself? Because to me, I feel like you're putting a lot of resentment and other things that are not so great on yourself. And that's part of what you're carrying here from the past energy. But I give myself all the love and attention I need. That one was short and sweet, wasn't it? This one says, what am I most afraid of losing? And this was this abandonment thing that came up. As you grow, change, and transform our lives, it requires us to let go of something that was. So here you go. Here's that thing that's coming up. To make room for what will be. If you were to take that big leap today, here's that leap of faith right here. Would you feel scared of losing love, safety, or belonging? What if it was a big fat lie? What if it was impossible to lose any of those things because you have the power to give everything you need to yourself? Today's soul action is name that fear and look at the worst case scenario. Find a solution. Take your power back by being certain of who you are and where you are going. That's trusting in yourself, okay? Mantras today. Today's mantra. I move forward knowing I am powerful beyond measure. I am loved, I am safe, and I belong. And that is when these endless possibilities are going to come into play for you, big time. Allowing yourself to love and be loved is a huge part of that. Giving yourself all that you deserve is a big part of that. Okay, so let's get some key cards. We'll get some initials to close. And then I gotta go make some food for my kids. Go for it. There's a huge thing about you taking a leap of faith here. It's just saying, go for it. And you have this 5 of Pentacles with this, guys. And guys, I made this up. It says, yes, 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 yes. Get the point? So there you go. Go for it. They're telling you to take that chance, take that risk. And you have this that's over this. Defending being left out in the cold. This is the 7 of Pentacles. This is the 5 of Pentacles. Defending why you've left someone out in the cold, or why you've left something out in the cold. Defending yourself here is a part of this. This is a challenge here. We have the 5 of Pentacles on the board. So this is the challenge here, is getting out of this, leaving yourself out in the cold, you know, like always putting yourself, self-sabotage, always putting yourself out in the cold. Abandon ship before, and it's like people are looking at you going, what the hell is he doing? The ship's fine. Everything's fine. Where's he going? And like you just thought you saw something up ahead, you know, the ship was gonna just fall apart. I get the weirdest things sometimes. Oh my gosh. Okay, does that make sense though? You know, that self-sabotage. Like, something's gonna come and eat him because he just jumped into the damn water. He should have just stayed on the boat. Okay, so you have a battery here, and you have the number 5, which is about that change taking place. Running out of time, maybe something here. Running out of energy. It's like Spirit's giving you this burst of energy to do something, you know? And the 5 is that change. And you see that 5 of Pentacles that's here. You have the Chameleon, which is, he just loves to come out here lately. So being adaptable to your surroundings, being able to transform to your surroundings and adapt to things as you go. Yeah. Letting things grow on you, you know, something that's here. Being able to adapt to other people around you as well. Like as you go. The cheetah here, so that's that endurance that's there. And fast movement as well. Being quick to get what it is that you need before it's maybe gone, you know? You have the strawberry wouldn't come out. It always reminds me of something sweet being in your life, you know, something sweet that's there. And then you have the shell, so coming out of your shell could be part of this. Or having a hard shell, or looking at yourself in a way of you have to be strong, you know, but looking at that in not the best way. Which is what this self-sabotage, is it that the one that said that? Yeah. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from your goals. It's you to derail yourself. That's not it. It's this one. This one said that. Yeah. Name that fear and look at it, the worst case scenario. Take back your power by being certain of who you are and where you're going. Oh, I don't remember where I saw it now. It's on one of these cards about, you know, don't be too prideful here. Don't let pride get in the way of sabotaging that sweetness that's there. P-A-S-R. It's a treat in your life. Spirit sends us gifts and treats all the time, but if we're just, you know, walking around just not acknowledging them or wanting to feel anything, we're going to miss right out on it. We have A, A, K, and V. It's funny because I always say, you know, I feel like Spirit's like, you pray for things, you ask for things, and Spirit will send them to you, but then you're like, wait, is this good or bad? I don't know if I should take this. Is this a trick? And it's like, good grief. We sent them something again, and they still turned it away, you know? And it's like, I wish they quit asking us if they're going to turn away everything that we send to them. That's just something that's there. I always see Spirit as such a, you know, they have a sense of humor. Yeah, they do have a sense of humor because literally you can spell fart in the bowl. Which, guys, I have boys, so give me a break. But it's something that's here, so there's that sense of humor that's there. What else? We have hat. You may feel like you're pulling something out of your hat here. We also have rat. So there may be somebody around you that you need to be careful of. I always think that when I see rat. Or a brat. Maybe you feel like you've been a brat. That's that shameful energy that's coming through again. What else? What else? Brave. If we had an E, we could spell brave. Being brave. Alright, guys. I guess I'm going to leave you right here. Hold this up so y'all can see. So I hope this helps, guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Hope that it resonates. Definitely hope that it helps you in some kind of way, shape, or form. Of course, all the messages aren't going to fit, but I hope you got something out of it. And thank you guys for being here, and thanks for all your likes and your love and your support and your comments and your kindness and everything. Appreciate all you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Pile 3. I have to read y'all this card. I looked over and this card was laying here, and I just feel like I need to read y'all this card. So, I mean, it was for a reason. So here we go. Ready? It says, from whom can I release my judgment right now? And I just feel like somebody needs to hear this because the way that this card was just sitting over there. Judgment closes our hearts to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. Today's soul action is, look at the person that you are judging as if you are looking at a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down and making mistakes. See their desires to be loved and accepted. Add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. When I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they. Anyway, that one I felt like you needed to hear, so there you go. So thanks, guys, and I hope to see you soon.